up tonight.
Keep an eye on them, Pete, as we get set to launch the AFL Toyota 2005 Premiership season on your football station, Channel 9. And to kick it off, who better than the great Dennis Cometti, as we look into the centre square and have a look at that. Ackermanis and Voss saying, right, brother, let's do it.
Keating started out of the square too. He's gone forward. Kaczynski playing on him, and Riewoldt's got Lepich for company right at this point in time.
Thursday night football, the umpires McBurney, McLaren and Ryan. Opening bounce of this season. The big roar. We're underway. Rucks go at it. Picked up by Ackland. Kicks down towards half forward. Hamill works in front. Goddard from behind. Hamill did brilliantly.
Back a minute, Scotty, thank you.
Got out the high flyer. Hamill took the mark, kicks along towards the pocket. Double trouble for the Brisbane Lions. Knocked away though. Charging through was Hayes. On the ground was Copeland. Spills out of the pack. White, the veteran, gets a hand pass away, and the crowd love that. Copeland on the burst. Lepich on the overlap. Looping hand pass, Scott. Copeland again. Dragged down as he kicked. It bounces out of bounds in front of our commentary position.
What they don't want is what happened that first time they went forward to Garrick. Riewoldt came back right on him, right into his space. It's hard enough to get a mark against Mel Michael. You don't need to bring another opponent into play.
Boss in front, favoured by the throw-in, claimed immediately. That's holding the ball. Advantage could be paid. No, it'll come back. Ball's got it. Power's got him. And Ackland will take the kick.
Ackland stood too far back. The throw-in was fine.
There you go. Umpire saying the throw-in was fine. Michael Voss thought it was a shallow throw-in, and the ruckman were taken out of the contest.
Might be working on Wizard Cup rules there.
The coaches voting unanimously, by the way, boys, wanting to get the boundary umpires 10 metres in future seasons to make the throw-in. In the meantime, the kick is up towards Voss again. Up he goes. Big pack flies. Ackland slaps it over the boundary line for a throw-in. Tonight on Triple M Football, Sam Newman interviewing Andrew Demetrio. Andrew Demetrio making a massive claim tonight, saying that the 7-10 Alliance could stop big money coming into the game. If that is the case, he is prepared to sell the footy rights for just 1 year. More on that big story later on as Lenny Hayes kicks inside 50. Riewoldt has the run at the ball for the first time as the skipper. Stays in play, does it nicely, over to Aussie Jones, steps around, opens the angle. The first shot at goal, misses, over towards Garrick, up high he goes. Mel Michael did very, very well and takes it to the boundary line for a throw-in in the right forward pocket.
Second kick that St Kilda have gone inside their forward 50 with, and on that occasion, well, Riewoldt was probably in a much poorer position than where Garrick had led to, yet they still opted to go to Riewoldt.
Go on the ball.
Just a glorious night in Brisbane. Boundary throw-in, right full forward. Sharman, well, where did that go? Again, it fell short. It was thumped by Michael. Ackermanis, close to the boundary line, hugs it with the kick around the outer side. It pitches just inside. Did it? I think it did. Right up the chalk.
Aussie Jones has started on the wing, opposed directly to Luke Power. Just a fascinating matchup. Martin Pike assumed the centre-half forward role for the Lions. Maguire picking him up.
Belatedly, it was centimetre perfect. Throwing on the outer side. Boundary umpires sending it high. Ruck's having some problems. Charman over the top. Voss had a problem as well. Hayes put their head down, found the football. It's bouncing around in there. In goes Pike, head down, it spills to the back. Baker did well, got the ball free and the arms free as well. Now they can work it. Hamill to Voss. Baker runs back into the play. He's got the football. You can hear the call, advantage. Well, not much on. Forced to kick back towards the umpire. Hayes stepped around that umpire, dragged down by Corrie. Copeland goes long down towards full forward. If that's advantage, you don't want it. It's a goal.
That's just a shocking call. It's not up to the umpire to tell the player it's advantage. I mean, he
forced him into taking the advantage, didn't he?
He was stationary. He just stood there and said, OK, it's a free kick. Right, free kick. I'll go back and take the kick.
Baker hasn't played on.
He has not moved, and the umpire has called advantage. He's made his decision for him and cost St Kilda a goal.
And then got in the way. That's it. Look, he got in the way there of Lenny Hayes.
The one thing you would say is, and I agree totally with that, but it was a skill error by Baker.
Yeah, it was, but he shouldn't have been put in that position.
Agreed.
So first blood to the Brisbane Lions. Their first move inside 50 results in a goal, but it spills to Del Santo. The Saints' second centre break up towards Riewoldt. Lepich is his man. What a mark. at full stretch. Nick Riewoldt.
You've got to have a look at that. And at some stage, I mean, that looks just a pretty simple get out. Watch where Lepic's fist is when he marks the ball. It isn't even reaching the elbow of Riewoldt. Now, look, on the grab, he's 12, 18 inches off where the ball is. That's how tall and how agile, how high he can jump.
Has kicked 120 goals in his 75 games of football. 120-69 is a very accurate kick. He comes in to level the scores early in the first quarter. The captain with his first kick as skipper splits the middle. There you go, Nick Riewoldt.
I don't know about you guys. I always found it pretty hard to spoil if you couldn't get your elbow, get your fist somewhere near the ball. But he doesn't even reach the elbow on that one. We have a look at the clearance there. Nick Del Santo looking for big things from him this season, and that's a good stretch, isn't it? Yeah, great footy. Del Santo very, very composed when he gets the footy on the non-dominant side. Just put it out, gave it a bit of lead, let Riewoldt make his own pace to it.
What about that vertical leap? Magnificent.
It's awesome, isn't it?
He's missing the gravity gene, I think. On the way down, Charman knocks it down towards half forward. Hayes paddles it towards half back. Bosch quickly onto the football, pokes it down towards the pocket. This will be interesting. Well, Keating got into his move before the footy had arrived.
Just go back to Lepic. I don't reckon Lepic is the ideal matchup for Riewoldt at all. I just think that maybe 5 years ago, but he tends to give you a shot at it, Lepic, and you know that he's going to present, and you know they'll kick the footy to Riewoldt. So we'll just watch that with interest.
He'll fall off the back on the lead too if he leads up hard.
Goal apiece. Kozetzky over the top. Keating slides it away to Ackermanis. The whistle is gone with advantage. Bipano, it's coming back. It's going to be a free kick against Copeland, who's marking Hayes. You can hear the discussion. Just off the ball, Hayes was taken high.
So Hayes in the back pocket. Had an early lead from Voss. Has to start again.
Does give away the odd free kick, Copeland.
Lenny Hayes keeps it low and strong, but he's picked the wrong man out. Johnson got between the two St.Kilda players, Milne and Ball. Took a strong mark, a thumping kick. Johnson kicks it to the square. Out they come. The tall timber for the Brisbane Lions. Keating couldn't hold on to it. It comes out to Maguire. Baker ducked his head, did it nicely. Hayes on the run. Gets the handball going. Danger though. Brennan coming through for the Brisbane Lions. The ball spills out wide to Notting from 55. He shins it forward and it bounces over the line for a throw in.
Yeah, Aaron Fiora was lucky then. He had to attack that ball. Had he attacked it, it would have made a 50-50, both hands on the pill at once.
Sometimes you've just got to kick it. And the Saints a little too fancy coming out that time. Kozetzky backhands it down. Over the football. Down goes Del Santo.
Good hands.
Ashton to Baker. Schwarz stretching. Low down. Takes the mark. Still in his defensive 50.
Even that one by Del Santo. Just under pressure in the tackle. Just put the little handball out in front of his teammate.
Sell-out crowd. Balmy night. Schwarz out of defence. Pokes it up towards the wing. Lepic from behind missed it. So Riewoldt in front had no chance, and the ball out of bounds. Midway between right centre wing and right half forward.
Luke Ball and Michael Voss. That's a match-up to savour. He's the next best thing to it, I think. Luke
Ackland
Ball
in front, directs it down. Ball couldn't control it. Del Santo running out of space. It's out of bounds again. A battle of wills.
Bit going on behind play at the moment too with Scott and Hamill. I'll keep an eye on it. Umpire McLaren having a good look at it. McBurney rather.
Scott was trying to get into Riewoldt and Hamill thought he'd interject.
Del Santo did well for Fiora. Del Santo probing kick inside the forward 50. Riewoldt hands to it, couldn't hang on. White arrives quickly, got the crumb. In trouble, Corey down he went. McDonald put the body inside to Riewoldt. Interesting hand pass. White gives it across to Boss. He's at centre half back. Oh, great vision. Spotted Johnson on the outer side. Juggles it, still ample time. Johnson runs beyond the wing. Takes on the would-be tackler. 65 metres from goal. Wonderful stuff, Brisbane. Brennan's got it. About 35 metres out from goal.
Troy Schwarz made a bad decision early in the piece. He left Brennan. He left his man. He was the most dangerous player and headed towards Johnson, who was free on the wing. He was never going to get to Johnson, never going to get to him. And all he did was get stuck in no man's land, left Brennan as an unmarked player inside 50.
What about the hand pass?
A bit lucky.
Obviously a glove is worth two hands. Where's Brennan? 35 metres out, slight angle, slots it.
Now, I'm having a look at this dust-up in the back line as we see Jared Brennan get the high fives for kicking that goal. And what actually happened was Chris Scott thought he'd just step into the line a few minutes ago of Riewoldt when he was running passively. Aaron Hamill thought he'd take matters into his own hand. It gets a bit of a scuffle. Mel Michael comes out and dishes his weight around. And Big Fraser just sat back in the goal square and thought, you fight it out, I'll just sit here by myself.
So a little bit of early luck for the Brisbane Lions. Umpiring is going their way on the 2 occasions that have resulted with goals. They lead by 6 points.
Play on!
Ackland will give him the tap. Ball nosed it forward. Hayes was there. Pike for the Brisbane Lions. Keating tries to slap it forward. Picked up by Power. Great play. Gets it all at the right. Now they're starting to open up and run. Notting to Ackermanis. Took his man on. Dropped the ball. Might have been high though. No, dropping the ball. And the umpire called play on again there. Poor old Baker must think he's a marked man.
Great tackle though. Schwartz redeeming himself there. Terrific tackle.
Look at this. Acker was away. Just the handball slightly behind him. Then he dropped it. In the meantime, the Saints are away on centre wing. Up it comes towards Riewoldt. Pass was a hard one to take on the half volley. Takes it to the boundary line for a throw. And watch this again. Just dropped it, Acker there, before the high tackle came in. Good umpiring. And Acker just letting Troy Schwartz know he was around.
Boundary throw in. Mark McGough is on the ground, as is Saint. Ball, couldn't control it. Copeland ricochets back towards the Saints goal. Copeland putting plenty of it to Voss from half back towards half forward. Charman launched himself, thumped away by Kazetsky, spills to McGrath. Well, down he went in the Del Santo tackle. Hamill tries to get the ball out for Yora. Del Santo, Kazetsky was in there working hard as well. Ackland feeds it back to Hayes. Now Baker did well. Has the bounce, runs beyond the wing, kicks inside the forward 50, floats towards the boundary. Lepic hands to it, couldn't hang on. Not a bounce. Riewoldt, so much the target.
Absolutely. By my counts, that was, is it the 5th or 4th time they've gone to him inside 50, and they've only been in 5 times. That's their 5th time in.
Fraser Gehrig coming in with an injury cloud above him with that stress fractures in the back, as Pete Larkin said. Dermot, do you think that maybe he's playing as a decoy full forward to keep Mel Michael or at least one key forward out of the way?
No, you wouldn't use a decoy, Ed. He'd still have to be able to contribute some way.
He stayed in that goal square so far. We'll keep an eye on that one. Schwartz tries to flick it out. He did. Oh, reading the play beautifully was McGrath. Then Brennan. Brennan looking for goal number 2. From inside 50, the left foot snap is high, wide, but not so handsome. And through for the first point of the evening.
A different setup for the Lions when they go forward. They've got the 2 ruckmen virtually changing out of the pocket, which gives them that long option that Alistair Lynch always provided. So they can go to Bradshaw or they can still go long to the square.
Hudson around the outer side, got it from Voss. This is Thompson, lays it off. Kazetsky kicks down towards half forward. McGough there. About 65 metres from goal. Cuts towards the middle, sends it long to full forward. Some strength involved there. Milne gets the crumb, missed the football.
All clear.
This will be interesting.
100%. All clear.
Now, that is what makes Chris Johnson a great player. Because some coaches will say, oh, use Johnson's man, he'll play off his opponent. But when the time's right, he will go with his man.
Wow.
Ooh, let's have another look.
Sure he didn't.
Might have been an outside edge.
Kick it now, Jono.
Still, it's in the book.
Play on.
Plenty of controversy to start the night and the season. Hamill.
Oh, the goal up, is it?
65 metres out, goes to the pocket. Milne set himself and takes the mark.
You give a bloke a rap. Jono, as soon as he kicked that, he's now.
What's this, Gary?
Just one, mate.
Watch what? Did he kick it? How could you tell? But the Johnson kick was poor. Didn't get to Milne, who was in the zone, standing his position in the zone. But the mark of Hamill over Keating
Wasn't it good?
contested mark of the truest sense sets up a shot at goal.
Basically, took that mark because he read the flight better.
The old 7-point play then. Milne comes in and gets this one. But he missed it the first time.
Doom, that when you talk statistics, there are some more important than others, and contested marks of this nature, Hamill on Keating. That's just a pivotal play. He willed himself to the front, willed himself to the mark, and sets up the shot at goal.
Just pinch on the back of the neck there, just to see if he's going to retaliate and turn it over.
Stevie Milne gets his first goal for the season. Was it his second? Oh, hard to tell, but what do you reckon, boys?
We've had 4 goes at it, and we still don't know. So what chances a goal umpire got?
That was his 150th goal when he eventually got it. Scores
Jumped all over him, free kick, St.Kilda.
There you go. Ackland gets the free kick. He has been more than serviceable with 6 touches so far. Del Santo kicks out wide to the running Maguire. Maguire has it 55 out. Fraser Gehrig pointed out in front. That's where the ball's gone. Beautifully weighted kick. Milne, front and square, did it beautifully for goal number 2. He's looked up. Now he goes for the goals, and in the end he talked himself out of it. He didn't know whether to centre it up or have a shot, and he did neither in the end. Let's go down to Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, just on Fraser Gehrig's running and mobility, Ed, one of the problems he's got with the back injury is pulling up quickly. If you want to travel too far, simply up quickly has been one of his sore spots.
Stephen Milne's had 3 shots at goal in 60 seconds, though.
Saints by a point. Just under 11 minutes out from quarter time. McDonald in the pocket takes the mark. Not much on. White offers. He's got it now. White still deep in his own defensive area to Scott. Block gained. Scott back to White. Now he can move. Well, he jabs it forward outside the defensive 50. Lapham, who started on the bench, on the ground. Brilliant hand pass. Copeland goes down towards half forward, hitting the ball hard down there was Hudson. He didn't have the footy. He's going to get the free kick.
Look at the Saints behind him. He doesn't utilise them.
Not a good kick. Wanders off the side of the boot. Hayes. Now Jones. Forced to run across the ground. Looks towards the centre. In short. Fraser Gehrig lays it off. Untidy. Jones. Flicks it back to Del Santo. Del Santo goes towards half forward. Having to wait down there with Schwartz. Didn't complete the mark. 2-on-1. Pike gets a hand pass away. The second man for the Lions has it now. That's Brennan. Goes back to Pike, confronted by Voss. Both sides playing some sloppy football here. Brennan, that was clever. On his defensive 50, falls to the ground. Got it to Lappin. Power. Slips the ball away to McDonald. Lepage back to McDonald, has a bounce through the wing, goes inside the forward 50, ill directed. Opportunity down there for Bradshaw, coming hard. Kaczynski comes out of there to Baker, kept his head well, got a hand pass to Harvey. Harvey across to Jones. Jones sends one up towards the wing. Saints on here. Thompson forced by his teammate Schwartz just to hesitate, and that bought Brisbane some time. But how about that on the lead? Riewoldt.
He was in the contest,
You
Nick,
heard
that was
that.
okay.
Hit the chest.
And Mel Michael now got the job on Nick Riewoldt. That switch has been completed. Lepage back on the Gehrig. Been very impressed by Kane Ackland. That save in the defensive 50 a moment ago was a beauty. Hamill's kick to Riewoldt, and suddenly the big Saints are starting to put a few question marks into the Brisbane defence.
Right to Gehrig, who it's an interesting one because he's nowhere near fit, but to play him does mean that Michael and or Lepage have got to take him, which frees up Riewoldt, maybe Kaczynski if he comes into the mix. So he won't get many opportunities, Fraser. They've got to make the most of it.
The thing you notice too is since Lepage has been moved back onto Gehrig, he's come up the ground in the last 2 minutes or so just to pull Lepage into the heat.
Last year the Coleman medalist kicked 103 goals, 39. He opens his account this year with 1 behind.
Well, the last 2 times that Brisbane have had the ball inside their defensive 50, they've overused it. They've tried to be very cute and pinpoint perfect short passes, neat little handballs, really overpossess the ball. Chris Johnson kicks out long. Will he find one?
Well,
no.
it's a dangerous one because Hamill
Just
picked it
jumped
up.
into him.
The man picking up the ball there is, of course, the great Robert Harvey, who averages 26 disposals in his last 14 games against Brisbane. and that was his first touch.
Now, that was an advantage. They would have run inside 50 then.
They're a bit shy on now, Dermot.
Yeah.
At the Del Santo, had to stand a long time. Scott was there. Very good punch away there to Notting. He kicks to the boundary line for a throw-in.
The Gehrig and Michael, that was just a switch in general play. Gehrig has gone back to Michael's gone back to Gehrig. Why, when you've got players like Gehrig and Riewoldt, would you go that wide? Look where the ball ends up. It should have been contested in the goal square.
Kazetsky, uncontested, knocks it down. Harvey slips it away. Baker running out of space, moves it about 25 metres. Plenty of Lions there. White, Charman, untidy. McDonald had to wait. He played it well though. Power slips away, goes long inside the forward 50. Big pass the drop and Boss, the former Lion, brother of the champ, carving his own reputation. That was a good grab. Comes across the ground. On the lead, Kazetsky. He's at left half back. Breaking hard is Jones. It goes to him now. Does he have the wherewithal to carry the ball? He does. Little chip inside the 50. Leppich. Milne was undecided. That cost him dearly. Johnson in trouble. Taken down by the running Jones. Charman. Well, he was nimble enough initially. Socked away by Milne. Didn't have the football. Was he pushed in the back? He's working hard for a free kick. Back he comes. Milne went to ground again. In comes Johnson. He was climbed, and the second tackle was high. Well, Milne was working overtime there. He went down easier than last Sunday's first beer. He was looking for the kick.
We said earlier that Brisbane have had a bit of luck with the umpiring. That was their first free kick, however.
Stephen Milne should have taken the mark. Talk about being aware of how big a presence Nick Riewoldt is on the ground. He stopped and wouldn't mark the footy because he knew that his captain Riewoldt was coming in behind him.
You reckon Grant Thomas has said, no marks for you, just get under the banks?
Well, sometimes you just got to say, right, the ball's there, I'm going to mark the footy.
Well, out to Darryl White from defensive 45 to Ackermanis. Good strong mark in front of Baker. And then he takes off. Away he goes. Jason Ackermanis thumps it long up towards Bradshaw. Out he comes. Good play by Hudson. Great play by Thompson. Relieves the pressure to Goddard. Goddard over the top to Maguire. Maguire from defensive 45 out to the G train on centre wing. He stops and drops. He's a bit stiff in the back, isn't he? Not in there. That's deliberate. Free kick. He did it well in the end, Fraser.
I think it's the caboose, Ed.
Would have preferred a different method to win that kick.
He got it though in the end to Hayes, last year's skipper. Kicks inside 50. Milne will have to fly this time. He got to push in the back, surely. No, says the umpire. Oh, Hamill has just run in and crunched Johnson. Gave him an old-fashioned corky right to the thigh, and Johnson's up limping. Oh, damn it, you'd have loved that one. That was a beauty. Ran in at full steam, up went the knee. He's got a corky and limping like you wouldn't believe. He's as sore as an old boil. In the meantime, White's kick goes forward and Bradshaw marks 45 out.
Well, that's one of the things you've got to do. Yeah. And if the umpire pays a free kick against it, you've got to turn around and say, well, that is a short-term problem, short-term loss for a long-term gain. If the bloke's going to be brave enough to shepherd me, I'm going to go right through him.
Yeah, that was the free kick that should have gone to Milne.
Yeah, we might. Yeah, just after that, I saw he was chasing over the spot. Let's wait on Bradshaw's kick.
Bradshaw comes in, beautiful kick normally, and he has squeezed it through for a goal. Big goal to the Brisbane Lions.
It was a big play. The structure of the Saints when they went forward was just out of whack because Fraser Gehrig was up on that wing. It meant that Riewoldt was one out. Michael and Leppich double-teamed him. The only man they could go to was Milne now. He probably should have got a kick there, but once the footy hit the ground, they were in all sorts of trouble. Ball was rebounding down the other end with three Brisbane Lions players everywhere. And I tell you what, Darryl White's doing all sorts of damage at half-back.
Daniel Bradshaw, 40 goals last season, including 11 in the finals, 4, 4 and 3. Valuable player. Charman favoured by the bounce. You had to call a play on. Voss to Copeland. Hayes didn't get him in time. McDonald on the burst. Goes inside the forward 50. And there's Bradshaw again. Anxious to, I think, erase Alistair Lynch from the memory of a few fans. Getting his chance now at full forward. Different sort of forward, not a power forward, but a man that can cause a lot of damage on the lead. They won't forget Lynchy, but this guy has an opportunity to make a name for himself. Not only tonight, he's a long-term goal-kicking prospect. 2 in the space of a minute.
A beautiful kick of the footy, Daniel Bradshaw. Dermer, you get it into his hands, he's going to be a pretty reasonable chance anywhere from 55 in.
Well, as Dennis points out, he's a beautiful lead. You can see him in the type of shot there. He's off now. He's already made the lead. He knows there's space out to his right. And he reads the ball pretty well on the lead. He's quite competent too in the one-on-one physical duels.
Brisbane out to a 10-point lead, and Chris Johnson has a sit-down after Aaron Hamill cleaned him up.
Worked.
Good play too in that passage that led up to Bradshaw's second goal by Joel McDonald.
Yep.
And only game number 12. He's having a good night so far. Blake tried to get the handball working to Hayes on hands and knees, picked up there by Notting. Karate kick from Copeland didn't quite come off. Thompson squeezes it out beautifully now. Mark McGough thumps it high and long, looking for Fraser Gehrig. Mel Michael used his body beautifully, kept it in front of him. Milne again at the fall of the ball. Diving on top of it was Adcock for Brisbane. Voss on hands and knees to Lepage. Long handball, but it's Hayes to an open goal. Lenny Hayes lines up, he shanked it.
Had to keep it low.
Well, Darryl White's the man at half-back for the Brisbane Lions, who's just done all sorts of damage. He's had 11 possessions already, and they had Goddard next to him at the start of the game. Then Goddard pushed up in the middle of the ground. They've got to get him back and make him more accountable.
Lions by 9 points. Chris Scott to bring it in. Pinpoint accuracy required. And he had it. To Charman, 5 metres in from the boundary line.
Come in board, that's fine.
Charman, a very important piece of the puzzle this season.
Look how Hamill stands on the mark, forcing him to kick down the line.
Blake missed it. Copeland, hand passes to no one in particular. The beneficiary was Lappin, feeds the ball into the path of Pike in the opposite direction. Schwarz, now they're on the Saints. This is ball, one bounce, going down towards half court, trying to draw a man. Now he pops it up for Gehrig. Another test of strength. Michael in front this time, got it on the deck to Lepage. Lepage prods it towards the centre square. Ackermanis will need to be good. He is good, but not good enough. Schwarz got him. Ball slips the hand pass away to Thompson. Thompson goes down towards the pocket. Gehrig has it in the pocket. Gets into his move prematurely as well. Michael, having none of it, took him down. Adcock slips it away. Lepage gets a hand pass to Notting. Notting, well, interesting stuff. On one knee, hand passes back to White, and it's out of bounds.
Poor kick going to Fraser Gehrig, though. Really should have hit him on the chest.
Thompson's kick missed by about 20 metres, didn't it?
And no real pressure. And Fraser's blowing as if it was fourth quarter time on.
He's more like the puffing Billy at the moment than the G-Train. Here's another chance for him, though. Mel Michael gets the fist on it. That is a wonderful battle between the Premier fullback and the Premier full forward from last year. Mel Michael versus Fraser Gehrig. Wonderful stuff here from the Gabba.
I'm not sure about Mel's preparation, but it's a fair bet it's better than Fraser's been.
Great tap from Blake. Milne underneath it. Couldn't quite get it away. Picked up by Power for the Brisbane Lions. Clears the 50. Riewoldt sees it over the line and out of bounds for a throw-in. As you can see, 2 minutes 19 seconds left in this opening term, an enthralling opening term. Brisbane Lions leading by 9 points.
Another boundary throw-in, as you can see, heavily populated at right half forward for the Saints. Riewoldt gets a hand pass away. Down goes Ball. Was he taken high? Yes, he was. You see Voss in the foreground. Unimpressed.
They've got to find another target. They just cannot keep going to the same spot. It makes life too easy for a very experienced Brisbane defence. Got to find some other forward line targets here.
Luke Brawl, 75 metres out from goal. He of the darting eyes goes down towards the pocket. Gehrig interferes with the man in front, and the free kick will go to his shadow so far, Mel Michael.
Too predictable going forward.
Voss in the square. I think he's been called to play on. Matters not. Scott up from the back pocket. Looks back towards the middle. Well, they had it in the triangulation of fire, Brisbane. 3 men around the footy. It landed in the middle. Voss got it to Power, who kicks the Pike. Now that touched the ground, and the umpire's paid the mark. I think it did sneak out, but in fairness, the umpire directly behind Pike. You would have expected him to take the mark. Let's watch it again. Maybe it did slip out.
He was only looking at the mohawk. He was a bit bewildered.
Let's go down to the dock.
Yeah, Dennis, Chris Johnson back on. Rather than get a corky, he just got hit on the outside of the knee, just over the nerve where the bone is. So it's a leg stinger, Gary, not an arm stinger.
Yeah, there it is, the stinger, Doc. Good work.
Blake gets the tap. Baker underneath it. A leg stinger.
That's very technical.
You'd still be in the papers of Corky, wouldn't it? Goddard's got it. That's why we have the doc to tell us exactly what's going on. Milne fumbles under pressure. Adcock did it beautifully. Got it onto Brennan. Here's a chance there now for Hutchton. Flicks it out. Under pressure, the Saints. It could have been a free kick to Bradshaw. Over the line and out of bounds. Umpire says holding. Free kick Brisbane. Bradshaw's got it. He's kicked 2 already in the turn.
Goddard, yeah.
That's what is holding him back there, isn't it, from taking a step from potential good player.
Well, the ball should have hit Milne on the chest.
He should identify.
20 seconds and counting. As you can see, this could really hurt St Kilda. It's 9 points at the moment. Oh, he's gone for the big barrel. He's kicked it a mile. But across the face of goal. It's still in. Keating slips it underneath the legs. Bit of sleight of hand going on out there. McGough handballs off. And Kazitsky will have the last say in the first quarter of football for 2005. And the Brisbane Lions at the Gabba lead by 9 points. Standing ovation from the ever-appreciative crowd here at the Gabba.
A challenge for both these clubs. And you'll notice a challenge for the ruckman too. The ball bouncing very high. Rock hard in the centre. Time for the Rugs to...
Good lead.
Yes, it was. Ackland got it down to ball. I was going to say time their jump. Ackland did that time. Kicks inside the forward 50. Riewoldt juggles the football. Could have been taken high. Lepic favoured by the bounce. Inside his own defensive 50. Sends it high. Fiora up very high. Hands to it. Didn't hang on. Copeland gets a hand pass away. Sold nodding into stride. He hand passes forward. Down goes Blake. And that ball's not coming out. In fact, it's Fiora who came again. Fiora at the base of that back. Right out over the top. And we'll have a ball up on the wing.
Only had 3 handballs in the first quarter, Aaron Fiora. And he needs to find the footy in the centre and get his kicks going forward as well. He can find targets.
And centre wing Sharman gets a clear tap, but beautifully roved by ball. Now Fiora gets his first kick for St Kilda. Not a bad one either. Out in front of Riewoldt. Riewoldt tight on the boundary line. Lepic applies the grip, and over it goes for a throw in 52 metres out from St Kilda's goal.
And misses the target as soon as he gets it. Yeah.
Kane Ackland couldn't have made a more impressive start. I know, Dennis, you've been impressed with him over the pre-season. He has started this game in terrific fashion.
Very athletic, isn't he?
Yep.
Here's his chance up against Charman, who got the last tap. He got that one as well. You put the moz on him already, boys. Over the top is Aaron Hamill. And over the top of him, a pack of players will have the first field bounce.
Now have a look at this bounce down. Riewoldt comes to the defensive side. Lepic is standing the other. See him just circling around the back of the pack now, about 11 o'clock as we look at it. Wonder if he'll stay opposite him. He will. So he's giving Riewoldt a free look at the ball here.
Hamill runs to the square, Gehrig to the pocket, and Ackland in the mush and gets the free kick. Ackland wanting to dish it off with his 8th disposal.
He's only got Gehrig to kick to. Oh, Hamill.
Hamill out in front and has got a beautiful mark made to earn it, but that was a beauty by Aaron Hamill. And Scott has made him really earn that mark, but he'll line up. 40 metres out directly in front. Watch this, Derm.
It's a good matchup for St Kilda. Scotty, as tough as he is, Hamill's about 6'1 and a half, 6'2. Scotty's about 5'11 and a half, 6 foot. Yeah, in the old measurements, he's going to outstretch him a bit.
And one of the gone and then stretch the neck.
Take him down, yeah. The only thing he didn't put on him was the abdominal stretch, if I can say it right, abdominal stretch. And the camel clutch might even come into play once he's on the deck.
You'd know them all, though.
Aaron Hamill, big kick coming up for the Saints to get the first one in this second term. Should kick it. Comes in and delivers. He kicks the goal St Kilda needed to start the second term.
Well, their starting forward setup, Gehrig, Milne, Riewoldt, Hamill, and Goddard was there early. He's there again.
Gone back there now.
So, I mean, of those, the most likely, we haven't seen Goddard kick a hell of a lot of goals. Milne will be there to crumb, of course. Now, Fraser looks like he might have run his race. So, I mean, this is the target they need.
So the margin back to 3 points. 4-1, 3-4. Early going second term. Ackland on the way down decisively. Ball comes away. Penetrating kick. On the leader, awkward half volley down there for Fisher. He was pushed out of it by White, taken by Lepic. Over the top, White perhaps should have left it on his knees. That was interesting. Slipped it behind his back, only as far as Harvey. Ball looks towards half forward. Del Santo, he can run to the 50, line up this for the lead. Long kick, Michael goes back. Wide of the mark. Margin back to 2 points.
Ackland to ball again in the middle of the ground. Jump. Yeah, he's done it a couple of times now. Left hand. Good combination.
See, when they get the ball to Del Santo, I know he missed with that one, but you just sense that he's going to have a shot at, get a shot on the goal.
Johnson went to McDonald, who played on, could have been holding the ball. I would have thought so, through the legs of Michael. Socket towards the boundary by Johnson. This will test the leg. Does okay. In trouble eventually, though. Surrounded, as you can see. Still he battles on for the football. Third effort. Eventually power to Copeland. They bring it away. An element of luck involved. Pike. That was a good mark. He caught in the front of the footy.
Yeah, too strong he was for Maguire. Just timed his nudge beautifully. Up towards half forward. Schwartz got the front spot. It was knocked away, though. Good play. Baker was held. No, he wasn't, said the umpire. Brennan to Ackermanis. Into the open goal. And Ackermanis kicks it. So once again, a bit of luck for the Brisbane Lions, and unlucky the Saints on a couple of occasions not to get free kicks.
Well, they were, but they did do that. I mean, that was the breakdown point, is where the centre forward comes up and marks. This is the problem here, is that Baker puts it into play for the Brisbane guys. You can't blame him. He ran at the ball. He just didn't gather it in one take. Once he's got it, he still was under heat, but at least they would have had to tackle it off him. He just accidentally put it right in the path of Brennan.
How often have we seen this? Ackermanis finds a step when he's closing on goal, and always, well, almost always, so accurate with the finish.
Did he celebrate in Japanese or Spanish then?
Not sure. Ackland bounced off his shoulder, taken by Voss to Power. Inside the centre square, goes inside the forward 50. Up in front was the big man Keating. It runs loose at the back. Maguire went to ground. Coming away is Baker. Sends a high ball towards half-back and Ackland. Only 12 games for Port Adelaide. Dogged by injury. Impressive tonight. Got him. That's twice we've fixed him up. We won't mention his name again. Del Santo dives after the football. Robbed of it by Pike. Ackermanis to Notting. Notting slips it away to Voss. How's his finish? A pair of Brownlow medalists in vintage form.
Wasn't that brilliant stuff, Gas? I mean, he looked at it, he summed up off 2 steps where the goals were, recognised he had a player confront him, and so he has to give it, what, the lob wedge. He doesn't just give it the normal kick, he puts the lob wedge to get over to the encroaching player.
That is the point, Derm. You spoke earlier about, I think it was Lenny Hayes that found himself in a similar situation. Look at that, Kaczynski was right in his face. So his brain just calculates, right, I've got to get this up and over, and he's good enough to get it straight.
Most players would actually try and sidestep there to get the normal kick on the ball, but that would allow the encroaching player from behind to tackle.
So 14 points. Consecutive goals to the Brisbane Lions. Ackland got the tap, just got a finger on it. Out it comes to Harvey now. They need a centre break, the Saints. Up it goes towards Riewoldt. Bounces in front of him. Now a chance for Hamill. Puts his head over the ball. Tries to knock it out. Finally does so. Voss is there. Milne flicked it out. Was that a throw? No, said the umpire. Harvey was dumped and Voss gets it out to Power. Here go the Brisbane Lions. Power on centre wing. Straightens up, kicks up to the forward 50. Bradshaw on the bounce, did pretty well. Hudson was wearing him like a glove. It comes out to Aussie Jones. Beautiful kick out wide. And the mark has been taken out here by Fisher. Fisher's kick to the forward 50 to the running Riewoldt. Geez, he gets to some contest, doesn't he? 55 out, he goes short to Robert Harvey. He can run in and kick a goal. Rob Harvey needs to kick this for the Saints, and he delivers.
You talk about the value of, or the importance of making Darryl White play on a player. Well, Fisher is that player that's gone down. White has to play on him rather than just freewheel. And Fisher was the player that took the mark and got the ball to Nick Riewoldt. Now, you've got to be able to draw these Brisbane line defenders. You've got to make them be accountable. The minute you let them zone off and do what they want, you're in all sorts of trouble.
So a spate of Brownlow medalist goals. Harvey that time after Voss, and before him Ackermanis. Up very high, McLaren hooks it down behind Copeland, who started so well, kicks it out towards a vacant wing, coming up to meet at Schwarz. Brennan tracks him close to the boundary line. Across it goes, it'll be thrown in, despite the best efforts of Schwarz. Ackland would be pleased with that.
Jeez,
so too the Saints.
His hands on it as well as Cooney.
Play on.
McLaren knocks it down. Power, who's been important in the last 5 minutes, but Hayes comes away this time. Goes to half forward. Hamill, fingertips to it. Loose at the back. Scott leads back. Thought about dishing it off to McDonald. Now he's got a problem. Slung as he kicked. Gains about 15 metres. It dribbles out of bounds.
Oh, bit of a box
in. No love lost there. Scott and Hamill, two tough hombres.
Yeah, would you back? At least you know you're going to get your money.
I was going to say, you pay to watch it.
in a footy match, I'd go the draw. On the street, different matter. Kick from Power towards the wing, and the mark missed by Schwarz. Chance for Ackermanis. Somehow got it between his legs. Baker, interesting handball. Knocked forward by Notting towards centre half forward. Down goes Voss. Tackled by his brother. We've got two Vosses on the deck.
It's a Voss free kick.
You're allowed to do that to your brother.
Michael will get the free.
Michael Voss has turned this round a bit, boys. His touches of class. He and Ackermanis. He's milked this beautifully.
Oh.
It's a line ball, isn't it?
Wasn't much in it, but it was there. The handball off was to Copeland. And Big Keating's marked it in the pocket.
He just got Kaczynski under the footy then. Took his step off him.
Big Clark Keating has got it in the forward pocket. Wants to give it off. Nearly moved. Didn't cross the line, so he can go back. So Clark Keating. Great mark, under pressure. Fantastic stuff from Tim Notting. Well disguised by Clark Keating. Beautifully executed. And Notting now should be able to kick this. There's only 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle. 8 points the margin, as you can see. 55% accuracy from this position. Tim Notting, 113 games. This game number 114, as you saw. 95 goals, 78 in his career. Dual premiership player in 2001, 2002.
Fine there, Troy, no closer.
8 points the difference at the moment. 9 points the difference.
Off the step.
The man who booted 3 goals in last year's grand final, Tim Notting, missing from well within range for him. So the Saints to bring it out. Kaczynski, right half back, flirts with the idea of playing on. Now he does, kicks it up towards the wing. Fiora will need to go. He's out number 2 on 1. Awkward bounce, eluded both he and McDonald. McLaren to Voss, a stationary target, did it well enough. McDonald steps around Goddard. Power, like his game in this turn, goes in short. Wonderful finish. And Keating has taken the mark about 40 metres out.
Now, some people say, look, you concentrate too much now on just the heavy stuff, but Goddard had to take a body when he ran in then. He just had to bring one player to the ground, whether he had the ball or not. He had to do something. He just ran and jumped to thin air then.
Or force him wider.
Absolutely. Cage him or corral him, whatever you want to call it. Just do something rather than run as if you're not there.
In that situation, you can't buy the dummy towards the middle, can you?
No.
Thanks, fellas.
Here's Keating. So valuable for so long. Steps inside the 50. Launches one. He can kick it a long way. He certainly sends it, but not always with the right postcode.
They set a pretty deep zone here, the Lions.
Joe Cocker.
Good call. By the way, Kane Eckland's career high disposals is 11. He's at 9 disposals already.
Well, he's got a chance. It's not so much that he hasn't been a good player in the past. He's got a chance.
Out towards Riewoldt. He has a chance too. Snuffed aside though by Lepage. Great play. Johnson and Lepage, the old firm for the Brisbane Lions. Good tackle by Maguire, and we'll have a throw in.
Nah, Jono, no, what?
Throw in. 10 points the difference. Just under 12 minutes left in the first half of footy in 2005. Big crowd, great atmosphere here at the Gabba. Ackland got the tap again forward. Lappin ran over the top of it, and that is just about gone for Johnson because two of them had it.
He caught one high, John.
He's got it.
Stop worrying about the footy.
Yeah, he got the free kick for it. He caught one very high there, Gary, as you
His head
said.
was over the ball. His head was over the ball. Be more careful. We'll keep it.
He's had a hard day. Chris Johnson, he got caught beautifully by Aaron Hamill in the first quarter, or a stinger to the leg, as Doc Larkin told us, and now he's caught one in the head. What a great player he is, Chris Johnson. Boots it up towards centre wing.
Play on, play
Brennan
on.
was the last man up, but falls to Lenny Hayes.
Hayes inside the centre square, missed by Fisher. Oh, he's got a problem, goes to ground. Fisher needs to get it out, did, but to the wrong man, McGrath. Pike, sweeping hand pass to Notting. Notting just chips inside the forward 50. Ackermanis goes back, upended by Baker. No love lost there. Ackermanis did well. A little push affected the initial kick. He missed it. Came again. Half-distance kick, not too good. Notting from 60. Pulls it back towards half-forward. And Bosch steps in front of Brennan. Now he plays on across the ground. Taken by Ackland. Approaching a career best then. Forward at half-back, launches one to half-forward from behind. Leppich got a fist on it, knocked it down in front. Harvey in characteristic fashion, roving the pack to Schwarz. Can he get through? Yes, he can. Goes long from 55. He's off target, off the hands of Hamill. And out of bounds. Interesting, some of these duels on the forward line for the Saints. It's getting quite personal.
Yeah, Darryl White, you see, going cold. Well, the simple reason is he's got an opponent. Sam Fisher's his opponent, who should have marked that last ball. All of a sudden he's accountable. Can't freewheel. 11 touches in the first quarter. Hasn't touched it this quarter.
Michael, the backhander. Now Johnson, bit of a fitness test, comes away. Finds Notting, who's getting busy in the last 5 minutes. Notting's at left half back. Pike wants it wide.
Nothing ahead, but he'll wait for something to set up.
Kim Notting.
Move it on now.
Brennan comes on a lead, the short lead. He bypasses that and eventually settles on Pike, who's outnumbered now. Knocked in front by Schwarz, taken by Lapp and ill-directed with a hand pass. Sliding in Ackermanis. Took a bit of courage. Coming the opposite way was Hayes, who claims him. The ball locked in. And he'll have a bounce on the wing.
He slid in. Stayed out of his head.
Ackland comes to meet this bounce down. He's been good value for them. And to be totally honest, what was his name? The big fella they had last year averaged, what, 1.5? Yeah, Noble, 1.5, 2 possessions a game. So already they've had great usage out of their brand new ruckman.
Third man up was Goddard. Beautiful hit forward. Thompson was on the run. Sits for Thompson, takes it to the boundary line. Good tackle from Johnson. And just gave him a little bit extra going over the boundary line there.
Just pulled it back a bit. That's what happened to Lenny Hayes diagonally across the ground a couple of years ago. Put him into the fence and broke his arm.
It's a simple tactic, that third man up. So wonder more teams don't do it.
Kangaroos play.
Yep.
Over the back from Notting. There's the bounce. Voss corralled well, then went to ground. He held it up nicely though. The handball's away to Corrie. Corrie through the middle of the Gabba. Kicks forward to Keating. Did he get enough of it? No, said the umpire. Just missed. Now we'll have a bounce 35 metres out.
No chance. Held to him. Jason's holding it in.
Good movement through the middle of the ground. You just need one of your midfield or defender types that will take a risk. The one ball that Tim Notting was able to pull off just opened up the middle of the ground for the Lions.
Keating pushes Maguire out of the way, gets half a tap on the ball. Maguire goes again. He's gang tackled. Bit of pushing and shoving going on as well. We'll have another bounce. Still 35 metres out, pretty much directly in front of the Lions' goal. They lead by 10 points. Keating again against Matt Maguire. Keating again pushes nicely, knocks it to the hot spot. Here's a chance for power. Tries to pick it up and flick it out. Good tackle from Ball. Now it spills. Ball, who was the first tackler, relieves the pressure momentarily for the Saints. A bad bounce for Riewoldt. He had Leppich done by 10 metres, but the Leper read it nicely. Took his opportunity. Oh, no, he wanted to turn it over. Aaron Hamill to an open goal. Can't bend it around the body. Needed to run straight at it. He's kicked it out in the full.
That's still in play 2 weeks ago, isn't it? Hit the wrong side of the ball then.
Needed to run straight at it. Dermy probably had time to run and kick with his right foot in the end.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Chris Johnson over the other side of the ground, but going to get it there.
Lee lining every bump and every kick at the moment. Here's McDonald, young Adcock, perhaps. That was an occasion where he let the ball bounce. It was all or nothing. Finished up, but It was nothing to the Saints, but Adcock took a huge risk, and now Michael takes a risk as well. Was lucky to be taken high. Look at that.
Mel! Let him go, Steve. Let him go. Let him go.
He had him. It was a good effort by him.
Riewoldt comes in. He's swinging. Well, he was. Umpire Ryan was waiting.
Right hand to the guts.
Turn around. Justin, I'm not going to have players throwing punches, okay? It wasn't enough for a strike. It was not. It wasn't enough for a strike, but it's a free kick. Here it is, just here.
Looks like a voting society down there at the moment. Riewoldt's got the footy.
It's good umpiring.
Yes, it was. He was dying to pay something against Milne, Michael. He wasn't happy with the work on the ground against Milne. That's his second goal. Riewoldt brings his side closer.
Interesting choice of words from the umpire, wasn't it? I'm not going to have blokes throwing punches.
You know what you did?
And I'm pretty sure Justin Leppich said, well, why didn't you report him? And he said, well, it wasn't bad enough for a strike. So
that's the initial one, which was high by Milne. Now, Mel Michael puts all his weight on his knee onto Milne's head. Yeah. Well, the umpire says, well,
And here it comes.
that's not it there.
yeah, that was it. There was the right hand of the same. The umpire seen it and thought that was a punch or of sorts. Yeah, that's what he paid it for. He put the whistle in the mouth straight away when he saw that right hand go through.
Missed him.
Yeah, I know it did from our angle.
We'll have a look at the other angle, Gary. But anyway, we've got a real game on our hands now. Brisbane Lions going forward. Oh, what about that courage personified? But the player gone down. I think it was Maguire. Looks like he may have broken an arm. Up towards full forward. Oh, Brennan has gone up a mile.
So one grab there and one there.
It's Fisher who's down.
I didn't pay it on the first day. It was over the line, so I'm going to give it all clear 1 point. You happy with that?
They're right on the spot.
Are you happy with that?
I don't think he had much of a say in it. In the meantime, it wasn't Matt Maguire who went up there.
Fisher.
It was Fisher.
Just heating up a bit.
Oh, is it ever? It's cool. Dazitsky relieves the ball.
Ball kicking towards half forward. Riewoldt will have to go. Could have been cuffed across the shoulder. No free. Johnson gets the crumb. He's been brave tonight since play back towards the wing and Corey. The runner alongside. Selwood playing his first game. 75 metres out, goes towards the pocket. Wide of the target and short. It bounces out of bounds in front of Bradshaw.
Spectacular leap, nonetheless, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Just a fantastic. Now have a look at this.
That was it.
That was it. The old skimmer across the jumper.
Yeah.
Gee, it's a...
Well, the umpire's behind him. He's seen the fist cock and go through.
Oh, and that's a big jump.
Just missed it.
a great decision by the goal umpire.
Andre throw in then. Keating, so clever, snaps a goal.
They're getting some value out of their big fellas. They might not have Alistair Lynch, but Keating's been able to contribute. Bradshaw's got a couple down there, and then the class players, Voss and Ackermanis as well. But he's a handful, isn't he? The big fella contested. The ruck just controlled it into his own little area. Was able to turn his opponent inside out and was good enough to convert. So he'll be pretty formidable. If he can stand up, he's at least a 40 to 60 goal proposition.
So 2 goals in a row to the Saints, ended by Clark Keating. Great play by the Brisbane Lions champion. Another good hit, another good clearance to ball. Out it comes Riewoldt, who's now getting booed by his fellow Queenslanders. He's not a Queenslander tonight. McGough at the fall of the ball. It's a free kick going to Justin Leppich. What a start this man has been, Justin Leppich.
Still, mate.
To Ackermanis on defensive 50.
And just slow the tempo down now through to the half-time siren, the Lions.
McDonald's kick, still a long time out, Derm, 5.5 minutes. Johnson,
Unless
the
they've
ball
got it.
to Adcock. Adcock now puts the boot down. Out comes Bradshaw, was tripped, should have got a free. Didn't on that occasion. Hudson put his head over the ball. Schwartz went the wrong way. He's gone.
Holding the ball, took on the tackler.
That's what Troy Schwartz is thinking to himself right now. Wish I had a left foot.
Now, let go, or it'll be reversed. Let go, Stephen, let go, both of you. Go back, take your
I think
kick.
Stephen thought that was a pretty good option. It'll be reversed.
Go, Goldspring, mate.
Oh, some sound effects there from Brennan as well. Mikey's got the last of the Mohicans haircut at the moment, having plenty to say.
Yeah, a highly skilled kid who had that amazing debut 2 years ago. He's got to start taking these sorts of chances if he's going to be the player that Brisbane hope him to be.
Well, he almost took the mark of the season so far a moment ago. He's kicked 1 goal, 1. A big kick coming up. 11 points to make it 17. It bends back, it bends back. He's got it back. He's kicked 2.
It's good effort. He has put on a bit of weight. Does look an older player, obviously. Yeah, he is to it that we saw him 2 years ago, but looks to be ready to take on a lot more responsibility, a fair bit more of the load. Which is good news for Brisbane supporters because he's a class act. He's got lots of tricks. He's got to start doing some of the heavy grunt work.
So the margin now out to 17 points. Brisbane on top and doing some good work in the latter part of this term. Ball could have been taken high by the ball, I think. Thompson kicks it down towards half forward. Spills out towards the boundary. Adcock approaches it rather tentatively. He realises Milton's behind him. He's camped over the football and Milton grabbed him and he didn't take it.
Just panics a bit, Milton. Gives away a few free kicks now.
Back to Scott then. Lappin. Hasn't seen a lot of it by his standards. In short, Johnson has been hit and hit hard a couple of times tonight, but has bounced back very strongly. Not so much play from the back half to Adcock. Learned his lesson, let it bounce. Back to Johnson. Hayes missed him. Johnson. Gehrig missed him. Took the shorts. Advantage is paid. Kicks down towards half forward as Johnson. Brennan. He's inspired himself. Wonderful mark. Ackermanis on the left, put inside the 50, tries to work it back. Not quite enough. Behind. And suddenly, Jared Brennan is putting on a show. He is a spring-heel jack.
He likes the first game of the season, doesn't he? Disposals this quarter, 70 to Brisbane, 37 to St Kilda.
It's a good effort to get Lenny Hayes, almost the best tackler in the competition. Probably Chris Johnson, the hardest player in the competition to tackle. So it's a good contest, but I agree that Dennis Brennan, Jared Brennan, he could play centre half forward.
I'm not sure I said that, did I?
No, there's a bloke called Brown in there. I'm sort of saying it there.
Voss just dribbles it along the boundary line. Clever play to Power. Handball's intercepted. Goddard gets it out to Blake. McGough chips it forward, but he's turned it over. McDonald went for it. Chris Johnson. Well, the more you hit him, the harder he goes, Chris Johnson. He is fantastic. Heads towards the boundary line. Del Santo has been pretty quiet over the line and out of bounds. Tony Jones, boundary side.
Well, I tell you, Eddie, it's like a revolving door down on the benches at the moment. So far in this game, less than a half. Brisbane 18 changes, St Kilda 17.
And all that's happened too is that Chris Johnson's doing the job that White was doing in the first quarter. He's up to 16 possessions, Johnson.
Blake straight to Lappin. That was rather tentative. Across the body towards half forward. Taken high and very solidly by Hudson. Hudson came charging in, eyes only for the football, but gave away the kick. Now into the path of Bradshaw, going goalward. Can't slip Voss. Goes back to Big Clark Keating. 35 metres out. He's got his second, the big man.
It seems like the Saints have wilted under the pressure that Brisbane have put on them physically and running-wise in the last 5-6 minutes through the middle of the ground. It's basically between the two 50s. Every time St Kilda try and clear the ball, well, if Riewolt's going to start centre forward, Hamill has to come up and meet those nondescript clearing St Kilda kicks on the wing. Every time it's basically gone to a 3-on-1 in favour of Brisbane. They bring it back, relentless.
Bradshaw and Keating combining beautifully, and now in the space of 6 minutes Brisbane have kicked 3 goals. In red time, Brisbane 5-2 to St Kilda, 1 behind in this first half of football. We've got 3 minutes, just a tick under 3 minutes left in the quarter, and suddenly Brisbane have put the boot down. Voss into the centre, but it's Del Santo finding some space from 50. He kicks, they need a goal, the Saints, but he's hooked it. And has missed his 2 shots at goals tonight. Nick Del Santo not happy with the result.
Kicking from a long way out. Kicking from a long way out too, Doom, which says that perhaps you haven't got the faith that you may have had in a Fraser Gehrig. Just hasn't done the work, but really, I think Ozzie Jones might have gone down now to try and make Chris Johnson play on a player.
Scott Outside the defensive 50. The Saints with a couple up there. Riewoldt quickly to his feet. Went to ground, but was pushed in the back. He's going to get the free kick. The class there. The defender was Michael Voss.
He hits hard, Michael Voss, doesn't he?
Yep. Fiora on the line of the square. Right centre wing. Little chip down towards half forward. Fraser Garrick takes the mark on his chest.
I don't know if Dr. Peter Larkins here. He'll give us a better one. But Nick Riewoldt is limping badly from that clash with Voss. I think he got a knee just above the hip, and he is struggling at the moment.
Wants to get onto the big arc left foot play on here. You can just see him.
103 goals last season. He got 10 against the Kangaroos round 20. Well, what's he done with that?
Well, it's the right play, but the poor execution.
Voss comes away with it. Sends play towards the outer side wing and finds the boundary on the bounce.
Deliberate.
Have a look at this, boys. This is Riewoldt, and Vossi goes straight in. Just got him hard at it. Gave away the free kick, but
he has got to be. He's limping, still limping very badly.
Yep.
Riewoldt.
So throw in. Michael Voss, he's so dangerous when he gets the ball, but he does all the hard things off it as well. Goddard flicks it out to Thompson. The Saints badly need one just to get a bit of momentum going. They just haven't had much of the ball this term. Again, it's Ackermanis out to Power. Carries the ball. Now they're running forward. This man, McDonald, has been fantastic tonight so far. He kicks inside 50. Oh, magnificent. Pikey.
So is this man, Pike. He's about 53.
Selwood it was who knocked it, kicked it forward. My apologies there. The young man Selwood. Look at this, Troy Selwood has done it beautifully. The boy from Sandhurst, his brother playing for the West Coast Eagles, his twin brother. And this is Martin Pike. Comes in, bends back, he gets it. Martin Pike celebrates his first goal, and Brisbane now start to make their move.
Well, up until quarter time, the Saints actually had 10 more contested possessions than Brisbane, and I don't think that would have pleased Lee Matthews very much. Now, this quarter isn't finished yet. There's only seconds to go, but as for contested possessions, Brisbane have doubled St. Kilda's. So they've out-muscled them, they've mauled them around the pack here.
So the Lions have got the last 4 goals in this one, and they're starting to pull away. Just over a minute till half-time. Kosecki missed the football on the way down. McLaren stayed on his feet. Power tackle, dragged down by Fiora. McLaren again feeds it out. Power. At close quarters, in fact, it was Selwood taken by Thompson. Kosecki claimed by McDonald. Thompson tries to knock it forward. Eventually it spills to Goddard. That was good football out of the pack by Hayes. And a wonderful sprawling mark taken by Riewoldt. Well, that was hard work in the middle.
It was quick. It was quick, though. Once Goddard got his hands on the footy, he went quick and direct, which didn't give the Brisbane defenders an opportunity to get into that hole or space.
Well, we talked about how young he was to be skipper. This is one of those goals he needs to kick. Almost half-time. His side down by 29 points. He kicks from 45, and it's good. He's got 3.
Well, you wonder whether he went to the goal square, Nick Riewoldt, and Fraser Garrick stayed there as well, and Leppich had to play effectively as a fullback out of the goal square. Because as you can see in the top left of the screen here, when he goes, Leppich can't go with him. So maybe to take him back to the square, leave Garrick down there as well, so Mel Michael's got an opponent, and see whether they can't exploit Justin Leppich in that manner.
Nick Riewoldt has kicked 3 goals for the Saints. He's in fact kicked the last 2 for the Saints. The last one coming at the 19-minute mark, then 4 in a row to the Brisbane Lions. And with seconds remaining, that should just about see it out. Or will it? One last chance for Bradshaw. Or Brennan will took the mark. He's probably too far out to score. And a wonderful quarter for the Brisbane Lions. They turned it on in that second term. And they have built a...
Or Grimace himself, so yeah, I hope he's all right. He looked like he copped one there for a while, though.
Right, and it's going to be a real test of his captaincy, isn't it? First up, to see if they can bounce back.
It is. I just hope it all comes through for them.
Okay, and give us a prediction, Joe.
Well, I'd like to think the Saints could get up, but I think they're going to need to play a lot better than they're playing so far.
Right, terrific. Enjoy the second half.
Thank you.
Thursday night football. Leppich across half back. Adcock.
Let him up.
Now Notting on the wing, looks back towards the middle, surrounded by Saints. Michael Voss has got it.
Keep coming back 2 metres. Okay, now.
Inside the centre circles, Voss kicks long, well inside the forward 50, off hands, loose at the back. Only one Saint is back, Voss's brother, and he heads for the boundary line and finds it. It'll be tossed in. Yeah, Voss wouldn't like that.
No, he would not. And Jason Ackermanis has done a Dermot Brereton. He's come out in the yellow boots, Derm. What's going on?
Good on him.
Boundary throw in. Ackland in front decisively. Baker got it across to Maguire, who kicks it up towards the wing. Riewoldt running out of space, just takes it across the line. It will be tossed in.
Hey, look at those beauties, Derm.
Magnificent. In the opening minute here, you've seen the tale of the two teams so far. It goes into Brisbane's back line. They handball under pressure, but they hit targets and they're composed. It goes into St Kilda's. They win it and they scurry and scuff kicks out to the boundary.
Copeland to McGrath to the forward 50. Corrie takes it to the boundary line. We'll have a throw in.
And also, Derm, I'm looking down to St Kilda's forward line, and there's that bloke Chris Johnson, who at the minute's got 16 possessions and taken 3 marks, standing on his own. Oh, actually, Aaron Hamilton, the goal through, he's calling a player back.
In the meantime, it's picked up by Luke Ball. Ball looks up, squeezes it towards Goddard. McGrath did well to apply the pressure. Milne's just been double grabbing a little bit tonight, but he gets it off to Fiora. He can go all the way here, Fiora. He can go all the way. 3 bounces, lines up, can keep going. 4 bounces. Now he should kick the goal, and he does. That's what the Saints needed. And a big shepherd off the ball as well as McGrath went down behind play. The umpire called play on, and a badly needed goal to the Saints.
It was amazing, Derm. Have you ever seen a player run in a game of footy like that with that's the only bit of pressure that came near him. Apart from that, no Brisbane player was within 30 metres of him as he bolts down there.
Well, that's because they've got an extra man behind the ball at most times, plus they go man on man. So his direct opponent was on the ground back at the skirmish up on the wing.
Yeah, McGrath and Notting going down in the shepherding. So the Saints at least applying some physical pressure.
Yep.
Margin 17 points. Ackland again to Ball, charging through his haze. Well done. Slipped a couple of would-be tacklers. Down goes Ball. McDonald put him down. Michael Voss tries to feed it out. Ackland battles against Voss. Over the top comes McDonald. Whistle and a ball up.
He's slow to get up, isn't he? Once again, the Ackland Ball combination was pretty lethal. I think I've got to make a statement here, St Kilda. They're in danger of just getting pushed aside again, and that just would be a horrible way to start this year.
Perfect bump, Ball on his feet. Gehrig tries to feed it out. Hayes, quick hands, did brilliantly. Fiora from 50 at his second in a minute. Down towards Clifford in front. Hamill has taken the mark 2 metres out.
Now, I was wondering why Hamill wasn't playing as the second half centre half forward, meeting that errant kick out of the St Kilda backline. The reason being is that he is a better bet close to goal because he's outstretching his opponent, Chris Scott. Once again, you see Scott's fist when he actually marks the ball is halfway up that forearm. So he's about 5 or 6 inches off spoiling the ball on every time we've seen Aaron go for the mark. So he's a big chance close to goal.
Like salad tongs there. They clamped onto the footy, those hands, and he finishes. The start they needed, the Saints, to the 3rd term.
Fantastic start, because you sit here wondering, oh, well, they're going to get pushed aside like they have the previous 8 times they've come up here, but even that in Fraser Gehrig might be underdone, but a little bit of vigour in tight, in close, just a little bit of muscle. And it starts in the middle with this bloke Ackland, who has been something of a revelation. His work with Luke Ball has been first rate tonight, and just watch here to see whether they can get their hands on it again.
The Saints have lifted their intensity. They've kicked the last 3 goals of the game. Riewoldt before the half-time siren, Fiora and Hamill. Another centre break for the Saints. This time it's Rob Harvey. Up towards Riewoldt. Has got it!
Out of the middle again. I dare say Ackland got his first hands on it.
And you've got to say too, Gary, Ackland wasn't in there for the last 10 minutes of the second quarter.
That's right, you're exactly right. I think Kaczynski might have gone down and run, and also Blake. But just that quick kick, a mongrel kick, but a straight one. Riewoldt reads it so well, he will beat Lepage to the footy.
From 35 metres out, pretty much directly in front. To make the difference, 5 points. Nick Riewoldt comes in, has missed it. 3 goals, 1 to the St Kilda skipper.
Clearances 5-1 this quarter in favour of St Kilda. Well, Ed, you called that Fraser Gehrig might be the decoy forward, full forward. He is now. Chris Scott has been made to play full-back against Aaron Hamill. And Big Fraser, the G-train, he's playing about 35 metres out on the boundary, just hoping for a 0-all draw against Mal Michael.
Scott with precision. Lepage against the boundary. Inside his own defensive 50. Probing kick to midfield. Voss flies from behind. Couldn't hang on to the mark. Goes again. Ackland athletically slips it away to Harvey. To Hayes. 55 metres out. Goes long to full forward. Backing back is Hamill. Just wide of the target.
He will do something.
One thing nor the other, that kick, really, was it?
Lee Matthews will, well, I know he trusts Chris Scott physically, but he will have to do something about that if St Kilda keep winning the ball and get Hamill one out in the goal square against Scott. He's going to outreach him 3 out of every 4 occasions.
Lenny Hayes has kicked 2 behinds tonight. The Saints have missed their last 2 shots at goal that were very gettable. Extremely gettable. White over the top to Power. Now, Power gets it moving. McDonald, good beautiful tackle. Milne. St Kilda have lifted their intensity. Kaczynski now inside 50. Riewoldt across the front of the pack, couldn't get there. And Mal Michael got in front of Hamill to take the mark. Inside 50s this quarter, 6 St Kilda, 1 to Brisbane. Lepage has it though. He runs out of the defensive 50. He shins the kick. He's turned it right over. Away they go. Ackland now can take his pick. Onto Hayes. The handball was behind. Fiora runs crashing in. Great play by Power. Ackland goes again though, off the ground. Power tries to lock it in. Fiora ducking and weaving. Grabbed high. No, he ducked his head, said the umpire. Good call. And Corey locks it up over bounce just inside centre half forward.
I don't know if he did crash in.
Ackland now has got his career high disposals of 12 in a match.
Been good value, hasn't he?
Oh, terrific. Sharman knocks it down. Stolen by Ball. Inside the 50 and closing. Kicks truly.
Wow.
Less than a goal in it.
He's a star. He is a star, Luke Ball. He has got Voss-like qualities, and he has now had 9 clearances. Now they are worth gold a clearance, and to
Against
go
this mob they are.
to finish in that manner, that is just superb. And back in the middle. Or is he having a spell? He's actually having a spell outside the square. Well earned, you'd have to say. Magnificent start by the Saints. They have reacted in the way that you'd expect a team who finished top 4 to.
That man is Luke Ball on the screen. That's him in action. Look at that. Finding space where there was none on the left boot and puts it through. We have a 3-point ball game here at the Gabba. It's all lined up. This is what we expected on Thursday night football, AFL on 9, and now the Saints are delivering. Up they go again. Ackland again gets a tap. This time it spills to Power for the Brisbane Lions. He offloads it to McDonald. Kicks it up towards the forward 50. It's out wide though. Good punch away there by Fisher. Picked up there by Aussie Jones. Gets it back to Fiora. Fiora handballs over the top. Now it's Rob Harvey twisting and turning that familiar 2-step. Del Santo out wide. The Saints now just keeping their composure as it goes up towards Gehrig.
One in the head.
He gets one high and will take the free kick. In the meantime, Dr. Peter Larkins.
Yeah, we just see Fraser Gehrig stretching both calves there. 8 minutes in the 3rd quarter, he's already cramping up. They've just given him some tablets and some more fluid, so that fitness catching up with him now.
Well, lack of, as you say, Pete. Del Santo now to Riewoldt. He's got out again. Didn't quite have enough of it. Picked up by Fiora. The looping handball over the top. Kaczynski tries to get a bit of purchase on the handball, but he was dragged off it. Now nodding, sidesteps and runs. Crashes through his own teammate. Shanks it over the top, and it falls to Ackermanis. On the run he goes. Ackermanis kicks to Keating. Over the head of the pack, the Saints have got it.
Ackland once more. Doing it all tonight. On the 50, Bradshaw over Voss, found it on the deck, goes quickly to Pike, Pike to Ackermanis, feeds it back to Voss, 55 metres out, what a good effort. Off this side of the boot, Harvey stood his ground well, plays on immediately. Del Santo to the outer side, end-to-end stuff now, Thompson's away, has a bounce forward at the wing, he'll kick inside the forward 50, Hamill. Hamill 45 metres out, he'll kick from 50.
Well, that was a good kick from Thompson.
Forward setup is 35% more dangerous. They've taken Mel Michael out of the equation. Unfortunately, Gehrig's off now, but he's such a pivotal player at full-back. They've pushed him aside. What they've done is they've got the game back on their own terms in their forward 50. And the minute you lose that, you're in trouble. Now, this is Hamill from this particular position on the ground. 55% accuracy. He's missed to the left 6 times, to the right 4 times. He's kicked 12 goals.
This for the lead. Hamill, 51 metres out. Sprays it way right. Just sneaks in for a behind. So the Saints creep closer. They're surging. They were down by 23 points at the major break. And now, as you can see, it's back to just 2.
Three goals they should have kicked, though, this quarter, Derm.
Oh, look, they're playing much better footy. The danger here still for the Saints is Brisbane have got another gear. They have another gear to find. They haven't won the footy yet in this quarter. To think that St Kilda will win every stoppage, every contested footy from now till the end of the game, it's not going to happen. So Brisbane will start winning it at some stage.
18 scoring shots St Kilda to 15 St Kilda. That's to 15 Brisbane. Sharman over the top. He's held it in. Bit too vigorous maybe ball on that occasion. Just needed to hold him up. It's gone over the line and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in. As I said, St Kilda 18 scoring shots, Brisbane 15, but it's the Lions by 2 points.
Justin Kaczynski also playing forward for the Saints at the moment.
From the throw in, Ackland again. Was he pushed? No, said the umpire. Charman over the top. Fiora over the top of him. Will have another bounce.
And if you see the goal square for St Kilda, Stephen Milne is going deep, trying to take Chris Johnson back right to the line to get him away from that attacking move. As we have a look at the St Kilda bench, got a much better setup.
Jeremy Charman up against Ackland. Give that to Ackland again. Certainly the second one to Del Santo. Hoiks it up towards full forward. Milne under the pack. It's over the top. Mel Michael just going to tap on it, but Milne swoops on the ball. Lines up. He missed it altogether. Missed the kick altogether. Lappin now can relieve for the Brisbane Lions.
Well, he's perfected that tonight. Comes to Voss. High ball towards half back. Good mark, Charman. Very good grab against the man in form. Jamie Charman. Strong hands. From left half back. Long to half forward. Directed down by Fisher. Into the path of Del Santo. Ambitious hand pass, okay. Harvey back to Del Santo, kicks from the wing inside the forward 50. Lippage goes back. Uncontested mark for this defence now of Brisbane under extreme pressure. The Saints, as I said, surging. Their confidence on the rise. And the old heads will need to combine back in defence for the Lions. Here's one of them, Johnson, who's been terrific tonight.
Ackermanis is the danger man.
On the move and unchecked. Marks it half back, lays it off. McDonald sweeping through midfield, goes down towards half forward, ill-directed. And that's a problem for them. Voss took the mark, feeds it wide, taken by Jones, comes to Baker. Baker looks across the ground. Goddard right on the wing. Runs inside the centre square. Kicks long to Riewoldt on the lead. Up he goes. Runs off his chest. Met very solidly by Charman. Got to his feet okay. Del Santo was clever. Got it to Milne. Milne goes long. And I think he's kicked the goal. He has. He's got the hard one.
Riewoldt, the contest got absolutely smashed by Charman. I think it was coming back on him. But this is a genuine contest.
But he takes 2 players.
And that is a free kick.
All day long.
That is almost more than a free kick from Jamie Charman. But look, what's happened is that Chris Johnson now has an opponent. His name's Stephen Milne. Johnson hasn't touched the footy. Milne's kicked a goal.
So the Saints hit the front. Look at this, Gary Lyon. Your thoughts?
Oh, you just can't do it. It's a free kick at best, and we looked at it again. You can't just keep running through a bloke like that.
Yeah, that'll get looked at in the week.
That'll be looked at, no doubt about it. In the meantime, look at this. 5 consecutive goals to St Kilda. They've hit the front for the first time since the 22-minute mark of the first quarter. St Kilda in front at the Gabba. They've lost their last 10 by an average of 10 goals here. They've turned it on in the third term. Now, though, it's at half forward for the Brisbane Lions. Goddard gets the sweeping handball out. Oh, it's intercepted. Brennan's intercepted as well. It's hot out there at the moment. Top Nelson to Del Santo. Del Santo out wide. Aussie Jones looks up. He needs Riewoldt, and he keeps going. Nick Riewoldt. Oh, he just couldn't quite get there, and he's hurt himself.
Shoulder. He's done a shoulder.
He's done a shoulder. He's hurt himself. The AC joint. He looks in all sorts of trouble. We'll go to the dock in a moment. But diving at full stretch, Nick Riewoldt. Oh, can you believe it?
It's right at a time when they've got them everywhere.
And Scott has just run in and crunched him on the shoulder.
And Michael did it before him.
They both softened him up off the play. 100 metres off the play. Nick Riewoldt standing there. Scott and Michael went up and crunched that right shoulder. It's like watching the wrestling.
And it's a brutal game, and that is gamesmanship. And Nick Riewoldt won't be whinging about it.
Well, he should. That's outside the rules. The ball is 40, 50 metres.
I was watching elsewhere. They went to work on the shoulder.
In the meantime, Stephen Milner's taken the mark from 45 metres out. This will hurt Brisbane, and he has hurt them in the best possible way with his third goal.
I haven't seen it either. It depends, I guess, how vigorous it is. He's coming off the ground, Nick Riewoldt. This is just sensational stuff.
Michael missed him, or just got a glancing blow on him, but it was like bumping practice at training.
Well,
and Scott got him.
Here we go.
On.
So there's the stretch. He hit his head as well, Nick Riewoldt. And instantaneously, you can see the grimace.
Well, this might be it here. That's okay.
That's one.
That's okay.
And Hemway's a go, and then bang.
That's probably the one there.
There's a lesson to be learned there. Don't show the Brisbane boys where you hurt.
Like a disciplined tag team. Back in the middle.
They went to work on the shoulder.
Harvey gets it away. No implements in sight. A long ball from Del Santo. Going back, it's missed down there by Lepic. Whistle, and I think Lepic is going to get a free kick. Scott and Hummel are now 50, and the umpires need to grab this one quickly. Thompson said he was taken high.
Didn't go to the ball.
Wants to be dusted for Prince. It was
close.
close.
Take your chest mark, and you bumped into the ground.
Someone's got to step up now for the Saints. You know that Brisbane will keep coming.
Oh, I think he missed it.
I think he might have missed it. Chris Scott might still be going, I reckon. But gee, someone's got to take up the lead from the captain.
Well,
I reckon he missed him. I know.
It's got plenty. They've been at it all night. Lepic, meantime, penetrating kick. Ackland getting back on a first on it, charging in McGough. He slung it out somehow. Hodgson kept his head to Harvey. Harvey comes short to Gehrig. Deep in defence, Fraser Gehrig lays it off to Jones. Harvey on the burst in characteristic fashion. Peels off from half-back, kicks to half-forward. It's personal down there. Scott to his own advantage. Clears the zone with a long bomb. From behind, a big leap from Pike. Fell in front. Spoils come to Harvey once more. Feeds it back to Jones. Jones swings it to the other side. Biora can take it and go. Well, he missed it initially, but now he's going. One bounce. He should be an umpire. Hard against the boundary line. Goes in very short. Milne missed it. And the ball crosses the boundary line as we go down to the dog.
Yeah, Nick Riewoldt in a fair bit of trouble, Dennis. Look, he's got the hit from Sharman, which originally injured the shoulder when he got collided, and he didn't get the free kick. And then, of course, we've seen the second hit when he landed. So it is an AC joint, not the shoulder joint. They're just wrapping him up a little bit. They'll take him into the rooms, and it looks like they're probably going to give him an injection into around the collarbone. So an AC joint injury, but he'll be struggling the rest of the night, no doubt.
So, Pete, just to go through that one, we'll come back to you in a moment. You reckon it was the Sharman initial contact, and then it was exacerbated by the fall taking the mark?
No doubt, Eddie. He hurt his shoulder in the Sharman contact first time.
In the meantime, Darryl White through the middle of the Gabba. Up he goes towards Pike. It's punched away. Hodgson, resolute. Oh, he got to half Nelson there, Dern. Picked up by Brennan.
Beautifully.
Left foot kick at the goal. He's put it through.
Good take.
What a game we've got on our hands. 3 to Brennan.
And it's still on. I think it was Chris Johnson who laid the big tackle over there on the half-forward flank.
Great tackle though, wasn't it? You two just thought he was away.
These blokes are still going. They should just be locked in a cage and say, off you go, you two. No backward steps there.
Keep the cameras rolling on that.
But the other end of the ground, it was a Chrissy Johnson tackle that turned the footy over, and Brennan's kicked his third goal. Justin Kazitsky's a man here, boys, for the Saints. He's the bloke who's got to put his hand in there.
Well, it's been amazing between this pair. They've been nose to nose moments ago.
Just on what you were saying, though, Dennis, when you said when Mal Michael came in and thrust the shoulder into Nick Riewoldt, he said somebody's got to stand up here. Unless somebody stands up and does something physical, look, this is a brutal industry. They will keep doing it to this side, St Kilda, unless somebody makes a statement.
McGough towards half-back, Fiora, Blake, Goddard. Across the ground he goes. Harvey. Interesting. Ackland's gone off the ball. So real test for Kosecki the last 5 minutes or so. He needs to do a little more inside the centre square. Here's Jones meantime. He's in the centre square now. Penetrating kick well inside the forward 50. That's better from the big fellow. Go forward, make them accountable. Kosecki's taken the mark 25 metres out.
There was some kick from Ozzie Jones, wasn't it?
It was. But this bloke here, right now with Riewoldt off the ground, this is the time for him to stand up. Hamill's still at it. But
he pulls the greatest face, doesn't he, Chris Scott? Like he's just had a wasabi shooter.
Oh, a little bit of push and shove there.
About the push and shove. This is the game here, and Kosecki's the man.
Kosecki, 25 metres and slice. He's missed it. He's missed it. You've got to take every chance. It's becoming that sort of game now.
That's 4 they've missed this quarter.
Not up to scratch.
Marks inside 50. St Kilda 5, Brisbane none this term. 5 points the difference. The Saints have missed 5 punts this quarter too, Doom.
Oh, look, they have. And what they're doing now is they're trying to man up Brisbane, man on man, when they come out of the...
Oh! Adcock set up McDonald, but McDonald was up for the task.
Been great, McDonald.
He's been fantastic. That's one of the marks of the day. In fact, was it Selwood? We'll check that. I think it was Selwood who put his body on the line. We'll check it out in a moment. Del Santo over the top. Here's Hamill now. Hamill gets the handball going to McGough. He's too slow. He's tackled. He's gone. Umpire's called play on though. Blake got the handball out. Thompson just slams it on the boot. Up towards full forward it goes. Milne got a hand of the ball. He's lurking with intent. It's knocked out by Copeland though. Out to Scott. Scott looks up. Needs to see a jumper. He does. Lepage. He shins it towards him. Lepage with the loping hand pass. Out towards Mal Michael. He takes on Gehrig. He's in trouble. He just got the handball back. It bounces and bobbles. It's picked up by Lepage. They're running around in circles at the moment. Good handball over the top. Now they can do something. Ackermanis. Voss. Voss comes to make the ball, but he's missed it. Corey off the ground. Kicks it forward. The pace is on. Good tackle there by Ozzie Jones. He kept his feet. That was magnificent stuff. Ozzie Jones concedes some ground and gives his team a chance. Oh, Fiora's running and out of trouble. Now he's giving it up. Oh, it's panic stations for Fiora down there.
Running through, son.
Fisher. Shins it towards the boundary line, but he's kicked it straight to an opponent. No, Fiora's got in between and taken it to the boundary line. Oh boy, what a contest we've got here at the Gabba.
It's not a question of your courage if you're running through it.
No.
Just give up the behind. This team's too good. They'll put too much pressure on it. One thing St Kilda are doing in their forward line, the big change in the match here as well as winning the ball in the centre, they're putting pressure on Brisbane's free running backman.
Ackland twice there, brilliantly initially down to Del Santo, then he found the football himself, but he hurt his hand in the process. Meantime, Voss plays down and the ball spills across the boundary line.
One of the things that, funnily enough, might make life difficult for St Kilda is that Chris Johnson has gone forward for Brisbane because he was being dragged back. He's tackling pressure on the forward line. It's a big stuff. There he is, the man I'm talking about. He's down there to cause some problems and put some defensive pressure on.
Pike and Johnson. Pike has just slung Thompson to the ground in a big headlock off the ball.
I can tell you Ed Lapham's kicked the goal. But going on.
Look at the jumper there.
He's the best, Eddie. Chris Johnson is the best at getting up someone's nose. He grabbed 2 St Kilda players in. Now all that means is there's a free Brisbane player running around on your forward line. Now this is the questions being asked Dermot of the St Kilda Footy Club right here. Is that they got their nose in front when their big skipper was out there. He's gone off, they kicked 2 goals. There's a bit of argy-bargy going on. How are they going to respond?
Well, even Inspector Clouseau would know somebody grabbed him.
Have a look at this.
They've got 2 there. That means there's a free player somewhere.
He's like the Hulk.
Jumper into the Roger Voudouris jumper.
He is looking like the Hulk. He's a He-Man out there, Chris Johnson. And Johnson gets a new jumper on centre wing, as you can see. And it is on.
Saints have got to respond, Eddie. They need to respond right now or this game will get away from them.
It's all Brisbane's physical intimidation here. They must make a stand here.
Brisbane have kicked the last two of the game. They're at the front. Selwood got the handball going. There's Johnson again. He got one high up. I said play on. Hamill, like a raging bull in there, tries to knock it out. Over the top comes Johnson again. It's hard in the trenches. Schwartz is held up. He didn't try to get it out. The umpire was at the back of the pack. We'll have a bounce.
Aaron Hamill made just a little statement. Which
Good, wasn't it?
Yeah, and there needs to be 3 or 4 more St Kilda players to follow his lead.
You can hear the chant, Lions, Lions around the Gabba. Over the top was Lepage. McGough on hands and knees, flicks it out. It spills to Del Santo. Del Santo looks up and he finds Ackland, who marks again. No, Schwartz it is. Schwartz has got it on centre wing. Needs a good kick. The G-train wants it out in front. That's where it's going. But it's a shocking kick and it drops short. And that one was too easy a turnover. The Lions bring it out to Corrie at the fence of 50.
Now, from this position is where Brisbane were killing them in the second quarter. They were allowing Brisbane just to chip short, find man, and they just set it up beautifully out of the back line. St Kilda, until now, have gone man on man and forced them to kick to a contest.
The architect, Johnson, across half back, comes away nimbly, still he runs. Forward of the wing, kicks inside the forward 50. Voss tracks it back towards the boundary. A pair of Vosses. Boundary throwing. What's the collective now? Don't know.
Voss-eye.
Voss-eye.
Voss? Like grip anyway, that's for sure.
The Italian brothers. It's thrown in. Keating. Now Voss. To his own advantage, Voss. Little 1-2 with McDonald. Sends power away on his left side. He pulls it back towards full forward in the pocket. Brennan. Sharp angle.
Left footer from there. He's going to want to dish off here.
And this has coincided, I've got to say again, with Ackland going off the ball.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you've got to go for the jugular.
Bring it back.
Now it's coming back to Brennan.
The time would have been called.
Riewoldt off as well hasn't helped, but I reckon that Ackland's been the most influential player on the ground.
And one thing you'd have to say, he cannot run the full match out on the ball. So if they can just cling on here and give him a chance again in the final quarter rather than get overrun.
Brennan kicks it around the corner, gets the goal. The margin 7 points. He's got 4. Yeah, but sometimes when you run a roll, don't you just have to go for it?
Yeah, but I suppose you think, well, if we're definitely going to be a lesser team when he's off the ground, we're going to spend 30 minutes the last quarter where he just cannot run on the field.
Yeah, but tonight he's hot. I think you just ride the mule.
Yeah, you find a bit when you're having the day of your life.
Against this side particularly, I mean, you don't give them that chance to get their nose back in front.
The Jared Brennan, the mercurial one, with his 4th goal of the night.
Eddie, the other problem, Chris Johnson is dictating terms again. St Kilda got to work super hard to make him accountable.
Blake got the tap, or he got the ball in the bottom of the pack, in fact. It was Kosicki who did the ruck work. Now he gets the handball out to Hamill. Ozzie Jones needs to kick a goal from 50. He's shinned it again. Out on the full.
Now this is where the Saints have to go man on man here right now and force Chris Johnson to kick down the line to a one-on-one. If they get to chip the ball around, set up a target, they love just to go short this first one, change direction, go out the other side.
The Saints kicked 6 in a row from Nick Riewoldt's goal just before half-time. The first 5 of this quarter has been the last 3 goals in the last 8 minutes has gone to the Brisbane Lions. Brennan, Lappin and Brennan.
Pushed in now, free kick.
You heard it, McLaren.
They'll play a side onto him here.
Razor Gehrig's on.
Pushing on Kosicki, good kick. And the G-train has it.
Mel Michael had run across the other side of the ground, was out of position, and it's one of the few times that Big Fraser's been able to find some breathing space. But if ever they've needed a goal, just before 3/4 time, now would be ideal.
Gehrig has kicked 1 behind for the night.
Lost his footing more than anything else there.
He's pretty fortunate free. Umpiring's been good though.
It has been. And as you say, in what has been a pretty torrid quarter, that's as soft as they come. So Fraser Gehrig.
Not bad. Too close.
1 behind. He has now kicked 2 points for the night.
Now Ackland's back on. Boys, he's gone to the back pocket to play on Clark Keating.
Well, that'll free. What they're trying to do is get a centre-half forward out there with Riewoldt off the bench, on the bench. So they'll try and perhaps push Blake or the big fella Kazitsky to centre-half forward.
This game very much in the balance. Johnson drives it beyond the defensive 50. McLaren stayed on his feet, did very well, tries to feed it to Power. The bodies go in willingly. Harvey spins out, but without the football. Boundary throw in.
See if Blake or Kazitsky goes for this hit out, then you'll know which one has been pushed into the ruck.
Something to play for there.
St Kilda guy would make that very interesting, that stat. Then what did he do? Go in tied up at three-quarter time.
Don't be so perverse. Thompson tries to knock it out. McLaren been working hard. Selwood quickly away. Copeland. Johnson once more from the back. Kicks inside the forward 50. And the mark is taken down there by Brennan. He's on a roll. Plays on from 55 metres. I think he's missed everything. Let's go down to Tony Jones.
Yes, well, I can tell you've been keeping a close eye on Hamill and Scott, and as a result of their latest fracas, there's now a trainer sitting on the sidelines holding two of Chris Scott's teeth in his hand.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, we'll get a shot of him. He's there. He's got the two teeth clutched in his hand at the moment, and it was a fair whack to the mouth too.
So that might have been that backhander we saw, boys.
Shades of Dustin Fletcher.
In red time, boys, in time on so far in this match. Brisbane 8 goals 2 to St Kilda 1 goal 4. It's a goal of difference. St Kilda have it on defensive 50. Robert Harvey held it for a long time, then just hooked it up to the open spaces.
Make the ball.
Copeland did. Got it down to Notting. Minute to go. Blake, Del Santo. Still time for St Kilda to square it up. Thompson takes the ball, kicks it inside 50. Gehrig's the man. Gehrig's got the hot spot. Couldn't hold it. Milne twisting and turning. Was he grabbed high? No, said the umpire. Flicks out the handball out wide. Corrie for Brisbane. Goddard there for St Kilda. A two-man war out on the half-back flank. Corrie wins it. Does it beautifully. Notting came across. Applied the beautiful Shepherd. Now sets it up. Running forward is Selwood. 54 seconds. Selwood knocks it forward to Pike and took the hit. Great play. Pike now running in from 50 metres. Kicks it to the goal square. Up they go. Full of the ball. Hoss gets it out. But McGrath, I think he's kicked the goal. It's a goal. McGrath's got it.
God, that was a tired defensive effort, wasn't it? Just no one had the presence of mind. This kid here, we've called him McDonald. I have anyway.
Yeah, Selwood.
Troy Selwood he puts his head over the footy and runs hard and straight. And that's why Lee Matthews will be playing that kid.
4 goals on the trot now to the Brisbane Lions. Oof.
Interesting situation. Fisher second-guessed himself.
Yeah, he did.
And stayed back.
He
had to come.
He waited twice.
You can't second-guess yourself.
I tell you what, the tired kick from Pikey that's been in a skewered manner, that's why Voss couldn't glove it either. He got clean hands on it.
McLaren taken high, no free kick. Hayes, McGough under pressure to half forward, dying seconds of the third term. Up in front, Schwarz. Down goes Blake. Feeds it to Schwarz. Runner alongside Thompson. Needs to be accurate. And he is. Right on the siren. How about that?
Well, he's unhappy with that.
We saw that stat just moments ago. At least Brisbane still have the lead.
Good in. Look, there's certainly a couple of chipped teeth for Chris Scott. We saw them. They're not the ones who reimplant, so he'll be looking in trouble. And 4 players with cramps from St Kilda, so they're really, the running game's catching up with them. Gehrig off the ground, Ed.
That at the final term. This is McDonald, got it from Power. Riewoldt very emotional as he came off the ground as well. This is Jones going back to take the mark.
It looked like tears, didn't it? They looked like tears, so he may know something that perhaps the rest of us don't. He looked very despondent.
Here's Harvey. Margin 6 points. Lions on top. Still the temperature over 20 degrees in Brisbane. Harvey jams it wide. Jones gets back. Midway between right half back and right centre wing. Hamill offers a lead. Comes hard. His hands were taken by McDonald. Advantage is played. The umpire said high. Regardless, it was a Saints free. Thompson kicks inside the forward 50. McLaren being very handy. Played it to his own advantage. Good shepherd from Michael. The short one comes to Notting. He needed to mark it, and he did. He got low down.
Now, the way they bring the ball out of the back line here will tell how they're going to go for the rest of the court. See, Lepic's free by himself. They love this. It'll come back, or it'll go a chip to somebody else.
Lepic Changes his mind and swings it very wide. In from the side. Milne did well. Del Santo quickly back to Milne. Found a way through. The short one taken by Harvey. Spins around. Not normally a reliable goal kicker, and this is wide of the mark.
What would you play on there, Gary?
Yeah, well, he hasn't got enormous confidence in his goal kicking ability, Rob Harvey, and
he might make the distance from there. Set shot.
Probably didn't sense that. No, there's Nick Riewoldt now. That doesn't tell you that it's more than just a bruised shoulder. He's in a bit of trouble, and that is one of the sad sights in footy.
Peter Larkins, I want to come back to you, Pete. The AC joint, look, I know you haven't examined him, mate, but just looking at the body language of Nick Riewoldt, what you've seen, we saw at least 5 hits on it. Tell us a little bit about that problem. What will it mean for a high-marking forward like Nick Riewoldt?
Oh, look, certainly the AC joint, Ed, is obviously helps you raise your arm above your head. I'd be concerned the way he's reacting there that there may be a crack in the collarbone as well, Ed, so we'll certainly be chasing that up because he looks very uncomfortable. And the AC joint, of course, the C is the collarbone, so quite often you will get a broken collarbone near the AC joint, and with that degree of pain, and he does look despondent. I just caught his eye before, and he looked across at me and just shook his head, Ed, so... you know, we know that frustration for him out of that, and we just need to see how many weeks this is going to be.
OK, Pete, stick with it, mate. Dr. Peter Larkins on the spot.
Rob Harvey's second shot at goal in about the space of 40 seconds.
Yeah, for a point. Yep. Brisbane Lions by 4 points. There's a game to be won here yet for St Kilda. Here we go. Adcock takes a strong mark. Gone out a little bit frustrated tonight, hasn't been his best. Adcock now kicks inside 50. Bradshaw, good play though. Maguire.
It's dried up for Brisbane.
Hasn't it?
10 goals on the board at half-time. They've only got 12 now. They don't look anywhere near as dangerous when they go forward. So, as you said, the most important thing is there's a game still to be won.
They've put the wall up, the Brisbane Lions, a big zone. Maguire now caught the play on. He kicks long. McGoff's going to have to go with this one. Power underneath him. McGoff did well to get a hand on the ball. Then he recovers well. Handballs backwards to Aussie Jones. Aussie Jones runs around in circles, finds a little bit of space on the left boot. Dangerous kick. Kosicki has to take this. Mel Michael ran at the ball, knocked it to his skipper Voss. Voss inside 50. Out they come. Sharman is out in front. It bounces awkwardly for him. Sits for Corrie. Aussie Jones does it well. Shins it along the boundary line. They'll take a throw in, the Saints, in that situation. They get it. As Corrie does a bit of stretching in the forward pocket with a bit of cramp. They're really feeling it. As I said earlier, boys, that ground is rock hard out there. Yep. You'll be really feeling your calves.
It's like playing on concrete in the middle. They're almost, if they can get Keating closer to goal, because Chalmers been outplayed the last 3 times the ball's gone into his area by his opponent Maguire.
Notting pulls it back on the 50, and Voss has taken the mark. Hasn't seen a lot of it, Michael Voss.
Well, Michael Voss, you were just about backing to kick this goal.
And when you're rating superstars, Harvey and Voss, I guess the one area that Michael Voss has got over in Robert Harvey is his ability to kick big goals.
So, can he get the distance from 55?
Yeah, he raised the distance, really.
It's a massive kick right on the line. It's not forward, or is it? Did it clear the line? I think it may have. Well, what did they pay?
The second time it cleared it.
At the other end of the ground about 4 years ago, he kicked perhaps the biggest drop punt set shot that television cameras have ever captured.
So they paid the kick.
Yeah, I remember it, dude.
It was against the prize, was it?
Take it, kick on, take it. No.
Is that in too?
I was just watching the ball.
They've got to get a marking target down here. They've got Lepich loose in St Kilda's forward line. He's just going to create all sorts of trouble. You've got Big McLaren's going back there as well. Justin Kosicki's got to present. At least give a contest.
Well, what a scene set we've got for season 2005. 2 of the big gun sides in the competition now, fighting this one right out.
That's good play. They can open it up here now.
Maguire at centre half back. If you've just tuned in, Nick Riewoldt off the ground with an AC joint injury, maybe a broken collarbone. The kick forward was not good enough. Gary, why not?
He just can't do it. They've got 3 tools. There's another one of them playing loose. And they don't work it out quickly, they won't win the game.
They just love it being bombed in, the Brisbane Lions, because they can run and set up going forward, as Lepich does just that to Corrie. Has a good win against Aussie Jones.
There's a lot of Saints behind the ball here.
Danger now for Ackermanis. Bounces over the line. The kick from Corrie just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, that kick coming forward by the Saints had to go wider to where there was the odd St Kilda players. We look at Nick Riewoldt on screen. St Kilda had a lot of players behind the ball then.
Baker just got a little bit of cramp, which could be dangerous given the fact he's playing on Ackermanis, who was sat on his backside as the ball came in on that occasion. So they're really looking hard at Ackermanis as a danger man.
The two times they got opened up St Kilda was when Darryl White was loose at half-back without an opponent, and in the third quarter when Chris Johnson was loose at half-back without an opponent. They've got to make these blokes accountable. Right now, Lepich is the man loose.
Margin 5 points. McLaren hooks it down behind only as far as Del Santo. Del Santo, some element of danger there. Goddard taken down by Adcock. It's slapped forward by the Saints, but Voss is waiting. Kicks it back towards the pocket. It bounces erratically. Maguire favoured by the bounce at least initially. Notting got him. Ball's under pressure. Proud try ball. He's confused. Charging in Hudson. But eventually it's fed back through behind against the post.
Gee, Ball did well. He just thought, right, I have to absorb the tackle here and get the handball off. I mean, even that in itself is class. And then Voss, I think it was, who thought, no, one behind conceded, better option.
Del Santo places it delicately on the boot and on the ground. Fiora, the step inside the line, marked it to space, and Goddard. Saints trail by 6 points. Still oodles of time, goes to half-forward. That's a strong grab.
He's punched him in the back of the head again on the spoil.
It's a rematch every time.
Just a big kick. Good. This is a big kick, isn't it? Tie the scores up.
What do you say?
Let's watch this one again.
Check the scoreboard. And there the guy says, check your teeth.
Twice.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it?
Oh, dear.
Now, technically, he should have got 50 out of it.
This should have a sequel.
He won't be able to lie on either side tonight. He's got a sort of
I think at the moment his back is worse than his butt. There's Hamill from the 50. Sets it out to the right. He's kicked it behind. They've wasted some opportunities tonight.
The first spoil missed the ball. The second one, he thought, well, here's one on the head for good measure as well. The umpire's awake after that. He'd probably give 50.
So Aaron Hamill with 2 goals, 1 for the night.
This is better by St Kilda. Since half-time, they've just choked up this Brisbane. Now he'll try and short it to someone or hit a target coming out.
He takes them on, and he's in a bit of trouble. They work their way out the lines again, and when in doubt, go to that man Voss.
Had to be a good kick, though.
13 and a half minutes of pressure football left in this game. It's the Brisbane Lions by 5 points. Ackermanis drops what he should have taken. He's been worried off the ball by Thompson on this occasion. Picked up by Hayes. Magnificent handball inside to Baker. Now to Thompson. They've got some run. It's high in the air for a long time. McGough sits underneath it and takes the mark. He's fine down, Mark McGough. Now needs to hit a target. This could be a danger for him.
Outnumbered so badly in their forward half, they just can't kick it in.
He needs to get back off the mark because of their poor play on.
So he just bombs it long and hopes for the best. Up towards the forward 50, Hamill does well, but they're lacking numbers up forward at the moment, the Saints. It spills for power. He gets the handle across the Lepich. Lepich kicks it with the outside of his boot. He got a bit of a reverse torque going there and plenty of distance. It was a great kick in the end as Baker takes it to the boundary line for a throw-in. We're just forward to centre wing, heading towards the Brisbane Lions goal. Go for it, Gary.
Who are you going to score on points? We haven't got punches thrown here, but it's been a great contest. I reckon Aaron Hamill's presented beautifully, but there should be another page to hear.
Yes,
I think there will be.
Yes.
Boundary throw-in. Ackland, McGough, intercepted by White though. Releases Ackermanis, runs to the 50, shoots. It looks okay. Wonderful finish. So clinical. His second.
Say what you like about Jason Ackermanis. When the chips are down and somebody's got to kick a clutch goal like that, he comes through with the goods time and time again. 13 possessions for the night, 2 goals, 1. 2 goals, 1. And off 3 steps from outside 50, punches 1 through.
$15-7-97. St Kilda 12-14-86. 26 scoring shots to the Saints. They've had the most scoring shots in the match, obviously, but on the scoreboard that counts. It's the Lions now by 11 points through Jason Ackermanis. Little turnover from Mark McGough, and Acker makes you pay every time.
13 points. they can get it back this side, but it's just amazing to go forward, St Kilda, and not give themselves at least an even money chance of scoring.
The kick out. 11 points the difference. Pike slaps it forward towards Adcock. Did want to break the tackle on that occasion. Knocks it forward to Notting. Mikey's got it. Outside 50. Smothered. Spills to Hayes. Goddard over the top. Maguire looks up. Good kick. Ackland ran hard to the wing. Ackland not much on forward. He's in trouble. He tried to cut back in. Corrie got him. Corrie did well. Second effort was for beauty as well, and he's held it up. Fantastic effort by Corrie.
Yeah, it was well done by Kaczynski then too, because even though they bought themselves the trouble, St Kilda, they were outnumbered, and just Kaczynski to hold it up then. What was it, 2-on-3, 2-on-4 by the end then?
Brisbane by 11. Beautiful tap on that occasion by McLaren. Corrie comes into the play again. Schwartz, good tackle, does it well. Now he's in trouble because he has to get rid of it. But they've dived on top of him for a bounce.
Luke Power, 24 possessions. Very influential.
He's been up against Thompson, and Thompson's had mid-20s as well and been very, very good.
Knocked forward by McLaren. Typical Brisbane play. Schwartz stood tall initially, then fumbled. He beat 3, held it up. Fisher feeds it back. Maguire taken high. He'll get the free kick at centre half back.
Got to manufacture a genuine scoring chance here.
Well, if Brisbane can hang on, this will be a wonderful victory by the Lions.
Yeah, they are super well. We know they're super outfit.
Maguire, he's got a long flat kick, and knowing that, Hamill was in position A, which happened to be behind. Know your teammates. He knew his teammate that time. Goes across the ground. In front, Gearig from behind Michael. Runs free at the back to his own advantage. Milne running out of space. And out of bounds it goes. Johnson there, step for step. What a game he's played, Johnson. And what a battle that's been. Hamill and Scott. And Scott just waiting for the moment.
Get his teeth back. Aussie Jones. The ball over the line, throw in. 11 points of difference inside 10 minutes left in this game. What a start to season 2005. Packed house here at the Gabba.
Free kick. Brisbane's free kick.
Free kick to Brisbane. Lapham's got it. Good umpiring too there by umpire McBurney, not to give the 50-metre penalty.
Jason!
And hasn't he been used sparingly, Nigel Lapham tonight?
And still sore there too. Came into the game with an ankle injury and
hang on a sec.
Looks like he's going to go out of it with a worse one.
Okay, Jason, you'll take it.
Does not look good.
He's only played 57% of game time tonight, Lapham, and that looks like his game is over now as Voss has it on centre wing.
Looks to the middle, White. The veterans combine. White's so good early. Spare man in defence. Chips it to Leppich. Needs a finish here. Leppich runs through the centre square. Bombs it very long. Bradshaw's out number 3-on-1. Maguire did well.
What's that tell you, Dennis, when they're outnumbering their Brisbane forwards 3-on-1, is that they've got no numbers at the other end of the ground?
I'm flattered you asked. You're talking to a failed coach. The ball's out of bounds. It'll be thrown in midway between left centre wing and left half forward. There's Lapham.
Do not give a free away.
Talking about his problems. And the Saints haven't taken their chances.
Oh, Voss is by himself on the right of the pack here.
Against a Brisbane team undermanned. Missing some of their biggest guns, but gee, they've shown some guts tonight. The ball's out of bounds. Will be thrown in. Lee Matthews working the phone. He coached his first Brisbane game against the Saints. Round 1 of 99. Brisbane won by 89 points. That won't be the margin tonight. Tossed in. Over the top, Blake. Knocked forward by Thompson. Clever by Jones. Hayes could have been taken early. Ball still in play. Blake tries to go back to Hayes, chopped off by Selwood. Got it to Power. Power kicks inside the forward 50. Several players on a collision course. Radar's a remarkable thing. Hand pass comes from Goddard. Now they'll try and work it out. This is Fisher. Fisher boots beyond the defensive 50. Thompson surrounded by 3 Lions. He needed to mark it, and he did.
Nice little edge of Curry under the ball then.
And another cramper down here, Aussie Jones.
Got to go down the line to Big Fraser. Just contest here.
He's going to have to beat 2 of them, Fraser. Up they go.
He didn't get his hands.
Was able to get his hands up and knock it over the line out of bounds.
He's cramping too. I mean, Michael, who's got Kaczynski at the moment, seems to have him pretty well under control. But it's Lepic that's been the dangerous one this last quarter, just playing the loose role.
8 minutes to go. Still 23 degrees. And as I said, a rock-hard track, so they're feeling it in round 1 of football. Doesn't matter how much pre-season training you do, the real stuff, really, you've just got to get the match conditioning. Lepic's there, Fraser Gehrig, the G train. Have to do something in the last 7 minutes if the Saints are going to have any chance here, you'd think. But here goes Voss again. Voss kicks up towards Keating. It's punched away. Front square, McGrath. McGrath, open goal. He's kicked it. A big goal to McGrath, his second.
And what about Selwood?
Well, the big difference with that forward setup is, I called it earlier, Sharman was down there out of the goal square, and 3 times his opponent, Maguire, just point-blank beat him to it. At least with Keating on that occasion, he was able to get to the fall of the ball, just get 2 hands to it, get it down front and centre, and that's where, was that McGrath?
Yep.
Gets to the front there, Ashley McGrath.
You'd have to be very proud. He's riding it home. Clearances this term. Brisbane 9, Saints 1.
Haven't they turned that around?
And boys, is this the most emotional we've seen Lee Matthews in the box ever?
Quite some time.
Flicked
down by McLaren. Hayes ran into a dead end. Still has the footy. Selwood on top of him. We'll have the ball up. So now,
well, Brisbane
met another challenge, Brisbane.
Well, what are they? 17 points ahead. They've gone inside their forward 50 on 10 less occasions. It's a great conversion result.
White thumps it. Chopped off by Goddard. Interesting tackle, takes Voss down. That was McGrath.
What about the performance of these blokes? Chris Johnson, Michael Voss, Luke Power. Now, even Justin Leppich has got better as the game's worn on.
Just energy sapping night. McLaren beaten by Blake, taken by Ackermanis into the path of Pike, knocked away by Fisher. Fiora running out of space, pulls it back across his body. Will it stay in? Johnson leads in the race. It's out. Inside the last 7 minutes now.
Voss has had 8 possessions in this last quarter. Power 6.
Well, Scott deserves a rub. and a filling.
Got hold of him, Brisbane. Free kick. Play on.
This bloke has been superb.
He has been fantastic. He got a really bad corky. Then a punch in the head, and he's given it off to Ackermanis. Up it goes towards Keating. He's got the free kick, Keating, and will line up to seal the game, you reckon, with 6.5 minutes to go. While he does, I want to go back to Doc Peter Larkins. Pete, if we're saying it's a suspected broken collarbone or cracked collarbone for Nick Riewoldt, how long would that be?
Yeah, look, we'll need to confirm it afterwards. So I'm just going a bit, Ed, by the way they've reacted.
Just assume that it is, Pete.
They won't confirm it at this stage, Ed. They said they'll talk afterwards. Look, the best case scenario would be 4 weeks, and the worst probably between 6 and 8, and that's including having a plate put on it, Ed. So that's probably why Nick's reacting, and that's why I've gone the way I've gone, because the AC joint we know usually is a lot quicker than that.
Come back to you, Pete, as Keating comes in, and well, he was all over the place with his approach on that occasion. And has missed another shot at goal.
They've manufactured. Ashley McGrath's kicked 2 goals. Brennan's got 4. Keating's got 2, and Bradshaw's got 3. So no Lynch, no Brown, but they've still been able to manage 16 goals.
Scores around the outer side. Over the top, Blake leads back in the race. Can't keep it in. 18 points the difference. There's the man we were speaking of, Nick Riewoldt.
Those goal kickers, though, goes, apart from the Brennan 4, and even those for a bloke, a 6'4" forward, he's kicked a few on the run and the likes. They haven't really been key forward type goals. It's been a pretty nondescript forward get up of, you know, 2 here, 2 there, 2 to someone else.
I reckon you'd prefer it that way sometimes, and having heavy reliance on one bloke to kick you 8 or 9 makes it harder for opposition.
You'd love to have one bloke who would stamp himself and say, I'm going to kick you 70 plus a year, and then get, you know, your 4 or 5 other blokes who are capable of a 2 or 3.
Saints clever a couple of times. Moments ago, Del Santo involved, and before him ball. This is Del Santo once more, running out of space. Back inside the forward 50. Michael from behind, intent on destruction. Got a first on it. Copeland waited initially, didn't the second time. Got a hand pass to White. White gets it across to support. McDonald now. Picked up by White. Selwood was buried initially. There was no free kick. He's done some handy things in this term. And the ball is out of bounds once more. Well, a lot of people, prematurely as it turned out, at least tonight, were saying it was the end of Brisbane. The end of an era. The Saints could win up here. Well, their record is dismal, and it seems they're going to lose 11 straight. Johnson, how did he get rid of it, umpire? Hand pass comes across from McGough. Chopped off there by Notting. Feeds it back to Lepage. Lepage takes a while. Tackled by Hamill. Gives it back to White. And White with poise comes to Michael.
Of course, we spoke at half-time to Nick Riewoldt's parents, and you saw the worry and anguish of them. It's a real reminder of the human side of football. We tend to treat them like robots, the players these days. Very uncompromising, the media and the supporters these days. You really feel for them watching their son in his first game as captain. Doc Larkins will have the full story. That's why AFL should stay on 9. You get it all in one game. Ball gets the handball over the top. Blake, ball with the left foot, speared the kick out. Kaczynski's been disappointing tonight.
I think the 10 possessions for Kaczynski.
Lepage kicks forward. Maguire overruns it, gives Keating a chance. Slaps it onto the boot. Schwartz is all on his own though. He's got he's dropped it. Fisher under pressure. Schwartz makes amends. He has to hit a target this time. He doesn't know where to go. He's run a mile. He's kicked it to a 2-on-1 situation. It's starting to unravel for the Saints now. Darryl White. Ackermann sits and waits and does it beautifully and plays on the left boot. A thumping kick. Pike has got it in the square. And the Brisbane Lions have let the world know tonight that they are anything but a spent force, remembering that black and brown and a few extras as well are yet to come back in this season. Pikey comes in from point-blank range. He's kicked 1 goal. He's got the new hairstyle on a very old and battered head. And he'd love me saying that, don't worry. And Pikey comes in and kicks his second and celebrates. A 4-time premiership player. He's still got the hunger for a victory.
Well, Troy Schwartz, you saw the reason why he's, you know, not an A-grade player. Simple as that. 3 errors in the space of, what, 5 seconds? One is an uncontested mark. A soda he just grasped straight off. And he carried the ball for 25-odd metres and didn't get pinged for holding the ball. And then he kicks it to the opposition. And he's a good boy. He tries his heart out. But they're just decision errors.
Bad night for that man. His son, that's Joe, of course. His son seems to have a long-term injury.
Don't know, did he read signs in? Did he just give a snap signal then, Mr. Riewoldt?
Not sure. In goes Power. Voss. What did you see that we didn't? Copeland gets a hand pass away. Notting bounces off a would-be tackler. How's this for a powerhouse finish? Power's kick inside the forward 50. Bounces obligingly for Keating, who lays it off to Adcock. Adcock snaps. And there you go. They can fill the holes. They've got the last 4 goals in this one. The stamp of class. The stamp of authority.
Yeah, well, you have to say that the Brisbane Lions have been superb, and to get some, you know, genuine game time into the likes of Adcock and Selwood, McDonald, who has played some footy before, but the old firm have stood up when it's been needed most. And as good as they've been, the Saints have been disappointing. I mean, they were on a roll. They were in front, but the captain went off, and the spirit seemed to go with them.
St Kilda led by 10 points at the 16.25-minute mark of the third term. And now, as we enter red time, or well into red time now, with just over 2 minutes left, it is the Brisbane Lions by 30 points. The last 10 times they've played, Brisbane have averaged wins by 10 goals. Well, they lead by 5 now. Hamill pushed off the ball, misses the target. There's going to be some sick and sorry boys. There's still a bit of talk going off the ball here.
Look at the Saints in the last quarter. Ed Kazitsky hasn't touched it. Obviously, Riewoldt, no use out of him while he's on the bench injured. Gehrig hasn't touched it on the field. Hamill's been good value, 5 possessions. Ackland's dropped out of it in this last quarter. He's been superb till three-quarter time. He's only had the 3 touches, and one of them we saw just a second ago. So he'd probably run his race by three-quarter time, Dennis. He'd run out of tickets by three-quarter time.
It was a goal the difference, sorry Gary, a goal the difference at three-quarter time. There was no goal scored for the first 10 minutes and then the last 4 of the game in 15 minutes to the Brisbane Lions.
Massive emphasis placed on round 1 games to get players back. You wonder now, you know, if Lappin has re-injured that ankle, if Gehrig doesn't get through this. I mean, it's just a big emphasis placed on 1 game of footy.
Nothing. Got a hand pass. On the outside of the boot, it virtually goes at right angles. It hugs the 50. Hutchton under pressure. This is Fisher, a late inclusion. McGough, right half back, chips it up towards the wing. Del Santo knocked away by Boss with discipline. Copeland tries to go back to his skipper. Well, lucky there wasn't a clash of heads there. Del Santo and Selwood, and the ball's out of bounds. Since the 18-minute mark of the third quarter, disposal's been 104 to 99 St Kilda's way, but the scoreline has been 8 goals 3 to 1 goal 5. And let's not forget St Kilda missed 5 goals opportunities in that third quarter. Ball kicks to half forward. McDonald trapped it. Oh, well played. He's had a wonderful game. Copeland sends the ball long. Fiora goes back and takes the mark at right half back. Across the ground, inside the last minute. This is Maxie Hudson. He kicks to Schwartz, who marks. Schwartz looks up. Gehrig has got away, but it's kicked over his head. Hamill's got the chance from behind. He has fought hard. He flicks it on to Gehrig for his first goal of the night. For his third behind of the night.
One of the privileges of being in a game of footy is you can watch what happens, you know, when the ball's down the other end. The covering of this Brisbane Lions defence for each other is as good as I've ever seen. Johnson left his man, Adcock said well run past, then Mel Michael came flying off his man to cover for Adcock. It is just a great understanding they got in their back six.
Well,
apart from their kickings.
Did it well. And Harvey gets a consolation goal for the Saints, his second of the night.
See, young Anthony Curry gave it to Big Fraser as he slammed one into the point post, and Fraser looked at him and thought, I'd like to snap you in half, son, but perhaps some of your big mates might come out of the woodwork and gang up on us. But I tell you what, you'd want to wait till you get a few under your own belt, wouldn't it, before you start hanging it on someone who kicked 100 last year?
Either that or he's a very good judge of time.
Yes.
But Aaron Hamill's been superb this evening. 19 possessions from a roaming pseudo-key forward position. Excellent performance.
Head down, ball taken down. That could be the last action of the night. We're down to 15 seconds. Marvellous win by Brisbane. Challenged several times tonight. Undermanned. And haven't they responded? There's the bounce. Wait for this siren. McLaren, who's been very good. Ball finishes up with the football, but it's not enough.
Oh, hurt his knee, but that's it.
Yeah. Helped up by Luke Power. And that look says it all. Satisfaction all round. Brisbane have put down the upstarts from the south. And that is a footballing